here. Obviously, Daniel Suarez's hero, Keselowski, they all have them. This throwback schemes on these race cars and this throwback weekend is so fun.
1 week after,
it's really fantastic. Fortunately, we did not
can
go
only
back
be
to
described as one of the
1950
best
in the way we
finishes
run
I've
this
seen in
racetrack.
such a
When
long
Harold
time.
Bracington built it, the apron was supposed to be the racing surface, and the banking was the safety runoff up above. But drivers very quickly found out it was faster on the banking, and that's where we have raced ever since on the egg-shaped Darlington Raceway, unique in NASCAR. Let's go trackside.
Darlington Raceway, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Please welcome NASCAR Hall of Famer Ray Evernham.
Drivers, if you're ready to take on the track Too Tough to Tame on your Goodyear Eagles, please start your engines.
Random Ray Evernham appearance. I don't think I would have called Ray being there, but hey, Ray. Gotta love seeing Ray.
They're ready to race for 400 miles around the track Too Tough to Tame in Darlington County.
Right now, you get a free
footlong
at Subway. Just buy any footlong in the app and get one free. Like the Titan Turkey, piled high with fresh sliced turkey, or the Outlaw with juicy steak and melted pepper jack cheese. Just scan the QR code and enter promo code FLBOGO.
Last week was something to say the least.
Chuck, you still got a landline.
Last week was something to say the least. And I'm still trying to where to place it. I don't know if I want to place it ahead of Darlington 03. I'm so close to placing it above it, but last week was something. And by the way, happy Mother's Day, Bumble. I was waiting for you to jump in here so I could say that. But happy Mother's Day, Bumble. And to everybody's mothers.
Duracell is a proud partner of Williams Racing.
Smile, you found it. The feeling of finding psoriasis can't filter out the real you. So go ahead, live unfiltered with the one and only Sotyktu, a once-daily pill for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, and the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding you're so ready for your close-up, or finding you don't have to hide your skin, just your background. Once daily Sotyktu was proven better, getting more people clearer skin than the leading pill.
The throwback
Don't take if you're
weekend.
allergic to Sotyktu. Serious reactions can occur. Sotyktu can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections, cancers including lymphoma, muscle problems, and changes in certain labs have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, liver or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or had a vaccine
Shoot,
or
Humble,
Sotyktu
shoot.
is a TYK2 inhibitor. TYK2 is part of the JAK family. It's not known if Sotyktu has the same risks as JAK inhibitors. Find what plaque psoriasis has been
I hope
hiding.
so.
There's only one Sotyktu.
Honestly, in the
So
fantasy
ask
that I'm
for it,
involved
find
in,
it.
I picked them.
So
I picked them for
clearly
today.
Sotyktu.
They were good in practice and they were good in qualifying. So we'll see. I honestly think that Busch might have a good shot to carry momentum today. I still don't know how today. I said I'm still, to some extent, riding the high from last week. You know, that was just.
There's something mysterious about this track. You never can figure it out.
The lady in black can make your day or break your heart.
They touch! They touch! Have you ever? No, I've never. It's the last lap. Oh! Into the wall!
Darlington victory in my record book is number one.
$1 million. Come on, buddy. What'd you expect me to do?
Actually, I don't think that finish actually gets talked about often enough. The Jeff versus Jeff show here.
Partying back in Virginia at the condo.
I think it was what, 97? 90? No.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms.
Yeah, I want to say it was 97 or 98 where they basically were beating and banging coming down to the start-finish line. I think that was actually coming to the light.
To tame, but victory here is oh so sweet. The Goodyear 400
So
rolls off, and let's talk to the pole sitter.
All right. Hey, Tyler Reddick, Kevin up in the Fox booth. You got the first job done, buddy. You got that first pit stall, got through practice. What's your
I don't
plan
know
for
about
today to get this
Jones.
car
Jones
to
coming back
race
for the
and try to
injury,
get
I
better?
don't know about.
Well, I think one way of doing it would be.
Truex, I know, has
like you're
got a
at,
good
but
track record here.
I don't know. I just don't think
Rosing as well.
We'll just Just keep up with the track here.
All right, track record here. Obviously, the run-in was
really got a fast money line
with Larson last year
It
here.
was really nice to be able to get my first pole here. So
Hocevar is a good. Hocevar, I think, would be a good value pick because I think Hocevar can
yeah, we just got to keep it rolling, but it's great.
Can keep his stuff together and has had some consistent runs.
Do not run the bottom of the racetrack. Do not hit the wall. Good luck.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle. 10-4. Thanks.
Reddick has his first pole of 2024 as we look at our Goodyear starting grid. He's a two-time
400 miles today.
With Brad Keselowski, who has his best
293 laps. If I remember correctly.
Row number 2, Chris Buescher, runner-up by 1,000th of a second last week, third here last September, and Ty Gibbs with his 7th top 10 start of the season. Here's a look back to Kansas.
Still
4
can't
cars
believe
under
it.
a blanket, and it was that close. 1/1,000th of a second.
All right, hell, I yelled it thinking it was Buescher, and then it came back. No, it was Larson. Not that much.
How about you, Chris Buescher? It's Boyer and the boys up in the booth. You got
Man, what about this year? 3 photo finishes we've already seen this year.
Heartbreak last weekend.
I'm on the top 3 series. The Truck Series is the one that owes us a photo one, you know.
Race car starting third. How about you?
Yeah, they put you in a good spot to start here. It's good when you're not happy with second, right? Means you want it bad. So it's a heck of a start for us. We're ready to get this one rolling. It's gonna be a nice warm day. I'm excited for that.
Where is this turnaround of this RFK organization? Both you and Brad are both up front today. Hot and slick out here. Can you stay up there?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a good racetrack for us the last couple of goes. So one of my top 3 favorite tracks we go to. That always helps. It's going to be a nice hot slick race.
It really was.
Got to be smart. Take care of the right side for as long as possible. And,
All right, let's put it this way. The big argument over the week was, oh, how do we determine the finish? And I think this guy won, or I think that guy won. We weren't complaining about the racing.
All right, row 3, we've got a pair of winners. Last year's race, this race.
From what I saw, I never heard one complaint actually about the racing.
Jamie?
After last week.
It's been a busy week for Kyle Larson after winning the closest finish in NASCAR history last week. He jumped on a plane with his wife and daughter, went to Paris to watch a Taylor Swift concert. Now back
Yeah, well, they clarified it. What's funny is most markers I've seen them say closest cup finish, which is true. It is the closest finish since the electronic timing scoring was introduced in the Cup Series. Now, NASCAR, no. The Daytona finish with Reddick and Sadler was closer. Because it went out the 4 digits.
Winner coming from row 4, Denny Hamlin, and his driver, Bubba Wallace, on his outside at 23. Regan?
Clint, the game is changing. We are now hearing terms over the radios on pit road, such as offensive, defensive, referring to the drivers and how they're driving. And when we talk about the pit crew, special teams and the restarts
But
as well.
it's Darlington. You know, this track is the second. Well, actually, I should say that because I know Grand North Wilkesboro was only on here for the All-Star race, but no, I could say that it's the second oldest track that's continuously hosted NASCAR races. The only one older is Martinsville.
Row number 5,
Indy's actually the oldest racetrack, but it only started hosting Cup races in '94. So
now Busch Light is giving you a chance to win $500
yeah,
today.
I agree, Bumble.
Beer on X and enter using hashtag break.
The whole race start to finish was enjoyable.
Every commercial break.
And it's going to be. Then again,
now let's check with our crew chief, Larry McReynolds.
I was the one who got
track is tough on crew chiefs. You've got to make adjustments almost
kind of had to eat my words after last week because I said, oh, nothing's going to beat Atlanta this year.
Let's go to our
and fucking Kansas is just like, here, hold my beer, watch this.
Let's show you exactly what's going on when they make a wedge adjustment. Now, you can do it on the left rear or you can do it on the right rear.
So, while I could say I don't think that
you see the wrench, you're turning
the race is going to beat it,
a mechanism in a canister that either pushes
I'm not going to say it isn't possible.
Press that spring or actually pulls it back.
No, we still got one more date at Kansas, too.
On the right rear, if you're screwing down,
so,
you're taking wedge out.
Hell, the second Kansas race could beat the first Kansas race.
That means you're
you know?
the car's loose.
I mean, that's a wait and see. We'll have to see.
Kevin,
but
I guarantee you, even the driver leading the race, he's going to be looking for adjustments every trip to pit road.
Thanks, Larry.
I still think that
race analysis.
I still think that racetrack is the best track on the schedule. We literally saw it last week.
108 laps.
There's no question to me that track is the
Here's some Denny Hamlin radio.
best track in the Cup Series.
All right, Denny, 400 miles of this beast, the Lady in Black. Super proud to be here with you doing it and your crew. Let's say happy Mother's Day to my mom sitting up there in the grandstands. Appreciate everything you've done for me to get me here and all the other moms out there.
Yeah, I'll throw my little command up there because I don't want to miss the start.
Jeff Burton.
Hey, Jeff.
Had a great NASCAR career. He is a Hall of Fame nominee, and he has the green flag in hand as they roll off turn number 4. And the Goodyear 400 is underway.
Looks like Reddick elected the outside lane on the start, too. Where starts the Denny here? Kyle started the Cup Series before Denny.
Tyler Reddick wasted no time as Keselowski slides up in front of Gibbs to secure the second spot in turn 4.
Yeah, Kyle would be the one. I think Kyle's the only one. I think Busch is the only one that has more starts than Hamlin.
On the bottom of the racetrack as little as possible, on the apron as little as possible. You don't want to do that very long because it is going to hurt those tires a lot faster than running that high line.
That's active in the Cup Series right
You're
now.
spot on, Kevin. What you want to do is do exactly what they're doing. Get this thing sorted out.
Brad's rookie year was 09.
There and figure your grip level out in this race.
Cup Series. Oh, well, he ran partial in 09 and then full-time in 2010.
You don't know what this car is going to do. Hot slick today.
Top 11 are now single file as everybody looks for a spot in the high groove.
Truex is close there, too. Truex, I think, is just after Busch and Hamlin. Because his rookie year was 06. Made a couple starts in 05.
Being as easy as they're probably going to be at the start of a run all day.
But I think his first Darlington start was 06.
Exactly where they are. But everybody we talked to said
ooh, Chastain locked him up in that corner. Brushed the wall.
And did he get into the wall?
Yes, he did. Kyle going around him. Busch going to try to get 2 for 1 there.
We saw a lot of that yesterday in practice without
yeah, because Truex and Hamlin, their rookie full seasons were the same year, 06.
Those cars checked up a little bit more in front of him, and it's real easy to lock that left front tire up over there going into turn 3 when you have to apply too much brake pressure.
He did get into the wall just a little bit, though. I think that'll be just fine. Wasn't hard at all.
Do you mean the regular season champion get wrecked? Well, I think you mean the regular season champion, not won a race, because obviously they win a race by winning Darlington.
There, but running the bottom of the racetrack right there tells me that he's not comfortable running the top of the racetrack either on the way tight side or too free. But either way, you got to figure out how to get this car up the racetrack. This car is, I can't stress how sensitive these cars are.
Yeah, that's Todd Gilliland. I was wondering, it took me a minute to realize that was the 38.
As far as the long run goes.
Todd Gilliland, 38.
I don't know what you're doing, because that reads like gobbledygook. It does. It doesn't make any sense at all. It says, the driver who wins this race, usually the driver that has won a race that season. Yeah, you win a race. You obviously won Darlington.
Drivers this weekend about tire wear here.
So I don't understand what you mean by won a race, because they obviously won a race because they won Darlington. Unless you're talking that they win multiple races in the season or the regular season title.
This track really took a turn to the old Darlington that it had been for many, many decades.
You know, every lap that you pound those tires, you pay for it in that long run. A lot of options, not just from the driver's standpoint, but also gives you options on
such a fun racetrack, though. I like running Darlington in video games because it's okay. So that multiple wins in a season.
The tire wear is so extreme.
You didn't word it that way. It's weird the way you didn't word it that way. That's why I was trying to figure out what you meant.
It's definitely more of a battle
but yeah, I can agree to that.
Within yourself or within your own car.
Well, that's exactly right, Mike. I think Austin Cindric said it the best. This track is a battle. It's the driver against the racetrack, and part of the driver's job is, you know.
Well, Harvick won the spring race in 2020, which is the first race back.
Everything here, but the car's going to drive back.
And you
got to do everything.
No, it wouldn't work in 21 because I think Truex beat Larson in 21. 22s went to Logano.
All right, Ross Chastain is headed back forward. He's passed Kyle Busch for 13th place.
So yeah, it works. Your win one works for Harvick and Truex. It doesn't work for Logano. No, it does work for Logano. And then last year it was.
Yeah, and I think as you go through the beginning part of this race, everybody's car is going to stay decent for 12 to 15 laps. If your car is really good, you're going to be able to.
Byron that won this race last year, wouldn't it?
Your car is handling good, so. Trying to keep
because your multiple one works. I'm just trying to think regular season champion, which it doesn't work for 21.
Supposed to run is super important to make the passes easier as you go on in the run.
So I don't think it works for what I was saying, which is the regular season champion, but it works for winning multiple races.
4 more Goodyear stickers, but you do have to remember you only
driver that has won
have
this race has gone on to win multiple
tires,
races
and that includes your
for that
qualifying
season.
scuff. These other 2 elements, a lot depends on how the cautions fall. But we're going to plan on splitting the first 2 stages in half, maybe pitting a few laps before the halfway point to get early advantage of those 4 fresh tires, and that longer third stage, 108 laps, split it into thirds.
Okay, Larry. If it goes green all the way, that's the way you want to do it, but the question is it going to go green all the way?
Who announced this week he would
which
leave
it's Darlington,
Motorsports at the end of the season, moving over to Spire and Chevrolet because they extended a multi-year deal.
Yeah, and it makes for an interesting rest of the year. This is as early as we usually see these things happen, but.
Well, no, Logano won more than one race. Logano won more than one race because he obviously won Phoenix. He won the finale. I think he also won Darlington too, but Dega.
Yes, it does.
In addition to Darlington, so.
Coming to 13 laps complete.
And he won Vegas.
Led them all on Mother's Day at Darlington.
Vegas is what got him into the Final Four.
Book in the Hotels.com app to find your perfect somewhere.
14 top food entrepreneurs are fighting for a $250,000
Yeah.
prize.
All 4 of them have won multiple races in the year that they won Darlington. But obviously it wasn't my one, which I thought was regular season champ, but only I think one of those was true, and that was Harvick.
Right now,
20.
3 foot long in Subway. Just buy any foot long in the app and get 1 free. Like the Titan Turkey, piled high with fresh sliced turkey. Or the Outlaw with juicy steak and melted pepper jack cheese. Just scan the QR code and enter.
Oh, NASCAR game in 2011, this was my house. This was my playhouse. Had like over 1,000 laps led at just this track.
Here, just take my free sub.
You know? At just this track. Not counting any other tracks.
You don't need
just this track. I had over 1,000 laps led, which is amazing. Oh, you beat me to it.
Until you do. Duracell is a proud partner of Williams Racing.
This then.
Memphis, Michigan. Touchdown! Then Arlington, San Antonio. My goodness! The United Football League on Fox.
Where was I? Oh,
Completing 17 laps in Darlington, Tyler Reddick from the pole has led them all.
Where was I?
Kozlowski 1.2 seconds back. Ty Gibbs holding on to third after starting fourth, 2 seconds
Can't
off the
remember where my
lead.
thought process
And
was.
Kyle Larson up 2 spots from sixth.
Tell you what,
seconds back.
The gap to the lead is shrinking a little bit. Reddick slipping up, 31.18 last time by Keselowski, 31.04, 05 behind him, and Gibbs 06 behind him. Larson, Larry, what do you got?
Well, talking about Tyler Reddick, the 45 car that's leading this race right now, we're 18 laps in, over a second 3/4.
Oh yeah, I was talking about NASCAR in 2011 and having over 1,000 laps led at this track online.
Full throttle, about a third of a lap. 10 seconds of 31 seconds, he's full throttle.
He better get a little more full throttle. That 6 car is getting bigger, and Ty Gibbs behind him. They're coming, catching him.
So the Xfinity fastest laps of the race were set back at lap 2 and 3. When these tires were fresh, Brad Keselowski has the fastest lap so far at 167.6.
Brad's probably thinking, you know, what do I have to do to actually finally get back to victory lane?
Matt McCall was a little concerned this morning about the long
Cup
run
Series.
speed
Now
of that
he
number 6 car. They made
himself has
some significant
not
adjustments
been to
to
victory
try
lane
and
since
make the
Dega
car
April
faster.
21. The car number hasn't been to victory lane since David Reagan's first career Cup win. And that to me, I think, is the most notable thing. Is that as famous as that number is, it hasn't been to victory lane in the Cup Series since Reagan's first career Cup win. July of 2011. July Daytona race, I should say, in 2011.
Thanks, Jamie. Chastain in 13th, and he's about 12.2 off the lead.
All right, guys, we covered who's moving to the front. Keselowski, Gibbs, Larson, all them. Who's not? Chase Elliott. He hasn't went anywhere, folks. Struggling back here mired in traffic with a 9 car.
Well, in my opinion, this is really where we're going to see whose cars are good. We got past lap 15 to 20, and I thought after we got past lap 20, you would really see whose cars were good, because that's when it's going to become easier to start passing. You're going to start to see the difference in the cars become greater because of the difference in the handling.
Now Brad is a former winner here. Granted, it was in the
I want to be a little bit tight because
Southern 500, but he is a former winner here.
You know, the back of the car is going to be a little tougher to manage.
All right, Kevin, you'd say passing. All right, they're starting to slip up. These guys are slowing
midnight
down
paint
in front of you.
scheme.
Where am I making these passes?
Well, the biggest thing
Which
is
was fun.
you want to be in position to make a pass when they make a mistake. When they touch the wall, they have to lift off a turn 2 is probably the easiest place, because with that patch and everything going down the back straightaway, if they miss the entry to turn 2 and can't turn down quite as good or have to lift on exit.
We're about not quite a third of the way into this stage.
Brad Keselowski draws a bead on Tyler Reddick. Wow. What's come over Brad? He's having a heck of a weekend.
He is having a heck of a weekend, and the thing that sticks out to me about Brad, he qualified good, Clint. And when this guy qualifies good, he's gonna manage this race well because of his experience and everything that he has. And if
They just need a little thing to go right for them, really.
he's probably gonna struggle.
You know,
Well, you have to be careful.
that's all we need is like
That
one
way
little
you
thing to
see,
go
man,
right
look
for
how
him,
close
and
these are. The leader,
you know.
Reddick, right on the fence. Ty Gibbs.
I mean, RFK almost won last week, so.
That car's going to get tighter. Figure out where you can catch them and do not get that arrow push and get yourself in the wall.
Regan.
Well, Mike, as you guys have been talking about, and Kevin in particular, talking about how tight you want to be at the start of the run to be good at the end of it. Tyler Reddick started off a half number too tight, as he told his team, but about 2 laps ago, he just said, we've already transitioned to loose. That was on about lap 23.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
Drastic
right?
difference in finish for
Getting the
Reddick
balance to your
here.
car right is how tight do I need this car? A lot of guys are like, it's too tight. It's too tight. But you got to protect against that right rear tire, because when the pace slows down and that right rear tire starts to go away, you know how it is, Clint. The back of that car starts to wag here, and you don't have as many choices as you did in the old car. You got to run that top line. If that back's wagging, you're going to start having some issues with the wall.
Want to be too loose.
Yeah.
All right, now that's a word Darrell used to use an awful lot. He wanted to be snug. What does that mean?
That means not tight, but just not loose either.
Edwards was the first win on the Labor Day weekend too, since that was the first year they moved it back to Labor Day weekend since 2003. Was the 2015 race.
I'm gonna need my hands to tell you how that snug. You know, a driver needs his hands to tell you just exactly what snug is.
26 green flag laps complete in Darlington.
I was waiting for him to play this one.
Tyler Reddick in the lead.
Like that song. Bruce Springsteen, Darlington County, off of Born to the USA. That's a good song. They actually used that Well, I'll see when because I'm gonna do the rewatching the 2001 season. We'll get to Darlington, but the spring race at Darlington, they use that song in the opening. But I like that song. And again, I just like the Born in the USA album too. Heard that so many times. So.
The scoops, the smiles, the steals. We got the slides, the kicks, the shovels, the feels. Good Saturdays on Fox. We got you. No big deal.
Really, Larson and Hamlin are the two you need to keep an eye on here. Truex also seems to run well here too.
I didn't know they sold dreamsicles on memory lane. For the flavor that
Those are the three for sure that if you're doing fantasy, it's like those are the three you have to have for sure in your lineup.
Dad, show her. Show me what?
Outside of that, I can't.
They helped us find.
Everything else is just a.
Kevin, you did not.
Make your best guess.
Kevin, I love it.
Get 20% off store-wide for Mother's Day, only at Jared.
Ready to rise? Above obstacles. Above perceptions. Above it all. If so, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota.
Him, I already posted the scheduled stream, so.
Feeling the breeze instead of feeling congested. Fast relief of allergies with nasal congestion so you can breathe better. Claritin plus decongestant.
Would you get an update, Bumble? So that's good. See, Sterling's doing okay. Then again, Parkinson's is manageable. I mean, look at Michael J. Fox. He has it and he's managing with it. I think that if I remember correctly, Neil Diamond's got it. That's why he scaled back touring. See, I've said it before. You know what? I might as well comment on it right now while we're going through stage one. This whole charter situation, this stuff with Front Row and Stuart Haas, I think it's a stupid move. I straight up think it's a stupid move. Because it's going to kill, it kills any momentum and speed that the FRM has shown in recent weeks. McDowell moving, switching teams, now that's great for McDowell. It's great that he's got a multi-year deal, but he's basically going to have to start over with Spire. New crew chief and everything. So he's basically going to have to start all over again from square one.
The next part of this equation,
if Stuart Haas were to merge with FRM, that's stupid because you're going to end up basically with two good cars and two bad cars like you got right now. It's just it's a completely stupid move. It's not going to work. So I don't even know why that's even rumored to happen.
He's got a little bit higher entry. See how he's off
that apron
right there into turn one, and he uses that to get that straight line up off the corner. He's already, see how he turns down earlier into turn two? Well, when he goes into turn three right here, he's going to go in above that top seam, and now that he's catching traffic, he may come down. He may not be close enough to do it yet, but when he was behind the 54, he would ride that rim right there and turn it off the wall, but until he gets close, when he gets closer, he'll turn that car
again, nothing's confirmed. The only thing that's been confirmed in this whole situation is McDowell leaving Front Row to go to Spire next year. Nothing else is confirmed. It's all rumors. It's one of the main reasons I don't take any stock in rumors until something of substance comes out.
One at a time here under green.
Gladly.
35 lap mark.
Crew Chief Larry, you tell me anytime, I'm ready for you, buddy.
Stuart Haas has not moved to Chevrolet. They were at Chevrolet from their inception till the end of 2016. They're not going back to Chevrolet. Not when they know they're going to be second fiddle to Hendrick anyway.
Well, the only thing I don't like pitting about this early, Clint, is if you are on the plan to run it all the way out, it makes that next stage super long. And if you're usually when you pit like this, it's because everybody else pitted. But if
Burton's
you're
not getting dumped from
first, it's because your car
Wood
was
Brothers.
bad.
It's only his third full season.
Larson behind him, the leaders.
Kyle Busch is in. Briscoe is in. Corey LaJoy on pit road. Jamie.
Ty Gibbs coming down pit road.
I mean, that Wood Brothers car has not run good since Blaney was there. Their last win was with Blaney at Pocono, Blaney's first Cup win.
What you're willing to risk.
So,
Larson in as well on the 5.
pit stops.
Practice so far can certainly get on the throttle quicker than he could yesterday into 1.
William Byron, Daniel Hemrick as Chase Elliott leaves his box. Joey Logano.
Ooh, Brad made time on Reddick coming to pit road.
Almost past Reddick for the lead. Here they come.
Yeah,
There's the leaders.
they had a lot of ground on
Very
him.
tricky pit road to get on. You saw Keselowski stay up on the track.
They were also weren't playing second fiddle as much to Hendrick when they were with Chevrolet as well too. And they were competitive forward. You forget Harvick's 2018 and his 2020 seasons. Yeah, they did win the title,
Some
but
good overnight adjustments on the 6 car to make it last a little bit longer. He did tell Matt McCall it would slowly lose
All right,
grip
then.
as we ran, but didn't seem to be as bad
Who do
as
you
other cars
replace
around him
in the 21?
Of Tyler Reddick. As soon as he said too loose, it has been the
who do
same
you put in
thing
that
since he
21
mentioned
now?
that.
If you get rid of Burton, who do you put in that 21?
Are Bubba Wallace, Ryan Blaney, Ricky Stenhouse.
Who's going to be better than Burton in that car?
Everybody else has been to pit road now.
Oh, Buescher with a big gain on pit road. Buescher had a big gain. Both RFK cars actually are.
Short pitting. You got Byron in the lead. By the way, Byron somehow got around the 5 in pit road. That's why you pit early.
Justin Allgaier's not coming to the Cup
Now will
Series.
you pay the price on the backside of these runs?
Justin Allgaier's not coming to the Cup
This is when it
Series.
becomes difficult,
Not
right?
full
Because
time.
you got to run that whole long run all the way. I mean, it's going to be 50 plus laps.
Riley's not going to run any
You never
better.
know with these guys. They might
Not in
decide
that
to
21.
split it up again, but that's going to be a long ways if we run the
Riley's
whole
not going to run any better than that 21. I'm marking it now. Because that 21 car is not great right now. That 21 car hasn't been good since Blaney drove it.
Stenhouse and Dillon.
It hasn't been a race-winning car since Blaney drove it.
Drivers who have been to pit road.
Well, there you see the difference right there. William
So,
Byron, who pitted 1 lap earlier than most of the
Don't
guys
sit
that
here and
came
say
to
that
pit
it
road.
is, because it's not going to be
all those
any
guys and got himself in position
any
to
better.
pass the leader.
The problem is
Get his
that
lap
technical alliance with Penske, which I think was a good move on their part. If Penske's off a little bit, so is the 21
Holding
team.
your breath through green flag pit stop.
It's not going to work.
Larson.
Until the equipment is up on the 21 car, they're not going to be as competitive. I think that the tightest the alliance was when Blaney was there, because Blaney was, in essence, a Penske driver, a Dustin Penske driver.
Obviously quicker.
Benedetto was never a Dustin Penske driver, and neither was Menard.
Who's grinding it out? How far can he go on this?
If the driver that's destined for that car has a direct line to Penske, I could see them upping the quality of the 21 car. Other than that, it's not. It doesn't matter who's in that car. That car is not going to run any
May
good.
pay dividends on the top side, but this
So.
is a lot of additional laps because he's given up again well over 2 seconds a lap.
And look at them. They just continue to blow by him. They're going to be, I'd say it's going to force them.
I will come this time.
Well,
there it is.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to split it exactly in half, but you know, I think the interesting part is going to be that gap might be big right now.
Love
but that
booty.
It's going to be a lot for these guys that get towards the end of this run that pitted early as far as lap times, and how much does it fall off when they get way further than they just ran?
Well, and that's the math works, you know, if you're by yourself. But as these cars all blow by you with new tires on, it just hurts your lap time worse and worse and worse.
All right, Austin Dillon's in. He is one of the 4 that have not yet stopped. So is Ricky Stenhouse on pit road. Fastest stops in this sequence. Ty Gibbs' crew 9.6 seconds. William Byron 9.8.
Thank you very much. That's the difference.
Yeah, there's nothing that's confirmed. He's looking at rumors. There's nothing that's confirmed.
To pit here with Blaney and Wallace, but as soon as that happens,
Nothing is confirmed until we hear the announcements from the teams themselves. It's all rumors.
Just past the start-finish line.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Chevrolet's not gonna. No one is changing manufacturers, because if that was the case, they would have by now. No one's changing manufacturers.
Outside as Blaney hits the brakes and he's headed for pit road.
I can almost guarantee that. And you're not going to see a new manufacturer join either.
A long run.
I said it before when I made the discussion about, you look at what Toyota did when they came in. They came in, built their stuff up through the Truck Series for 3 years before they moved to Nationwide and Cup in 07. It's not going to happen.
Ty Gibbs takes over the lead of the Goodyear 400, 45 laps in after one round of green flag pit stops.
We want hot dogs and a body that doesn't look like it eats hot dogs. Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips.
Every Saturday, your game is on Fox.
But I think at this point is rumored. You know? Everything's rumored. Now, I'd be shocked if Custer comes back to Cup, because it seems like to me he's comfortable in Xfinity. I mean, yeah, he just won the championship last year, but his Cup career, other than the spectacular win at Kentucky, I don't see him coming back to Cup yet. Not saying it isn't going to happen, but I just don't see him coming back as soon as, like, say, next year.
Just can't deal with it on your own, and you start to question maybe people would be better off without me. When you realize that you're not alone, once you take that first step, there's so much support.
That's not to say we couldn't see somebody come out of left field. That's why I say they're just rumors until anything's confirmed, because we've seen moves that nobody expected coming before too. So I'm not gonna, like, Justin Haley going to Rick Ware. Nobody called that. Nobody called that. Not only that, that was a change of manufacturer too. Hell, nobody called McDowell the Spire.
They helped us find the perfect. Kevin.
So that's why I'm saying that you can't. Everything is rumors until it actually comes with the teams, because you never know what can happen. Because it,
Kevin,
you know.
Get 20% off store-wide for Mother's Day. Only
I don't necessarily agree with that one, Alpha. Because you don't know what people are going to do once they get to Cup, so I'm not going to say that they have the weakest one. I mean, it's true that I think that Toyota has some ones in their development line, they just don't have enough rides. So.
Book in the Hotels.com app to find your perfect.
Go ahead, Bumble.
WeatherTech knows that trucks like yours can take a beating.
Are you sure? Bring it on.
But with WeatherTech's heavy-duty impact miner, you can safeguard the bed while throwing almost anything at it. The underside features an innovative solution. Shock-absorbing rings disperse the impact of hauling, dropping, or dragging your cargo.
Wow, no damage.
Protect your truck from costly dents and scrapes with a rugged impact liner from WeatherTech. For even more protection, add these premium American-made products. Order today at WT.com.
There's the Goodyear blimp flying overhead at the Goodyear 400 from Darlington on FS1. Goodyear providing our aerial coverage, powering the race.
You see, that's a trivia nugget.
Goodyear, more driven.
I haven't heard that I would love, that I'd be curious about.
But his stop was 1 second slower than Ty Gibbs, and he pitted a lap later. That's why he is back in 5th place.
Yeah, McDowell's going to help Spire. I know that. It's a good pickup by Spire. It's just I was kind of surprised that that's where he went.
This is a race where we've got one shot, right, to get in the playoffs, importantly, but to get in the All-Star race next week, right, for you guys.
Well, as much as I just said what I said about Custer would be the most logical choice to start with, because he is the reigning Xfinity Series champion.
More than just one thing on the line with the playoffs.
But after that, it's hard to say, because there's not many in the Xfinity Series for drivers. So
Ty Gibbs leading his first ever laps here at Darlington. There's Chris Gale, the crew chief who conducted the pre-race meeting, and his stats. Tony Hirschman is the spotter.
And it's battle for the lead.
Well, they've been to the, if it's the same Mexico track that's rumored, they've been to that track before. But again, just rumors.
Well, we saw this 24 car be really fast yesterday in practice. We saw his lap
The
times
lead between
just
Ty
continuously go
and Byron.
throughout the whole practice session to be solid, and that is definitely showing up again here today.
Boy, Daniel Suarez trying to stay on the lead lap, and William Byron is all over him.
Yeah, absolutely, Dalton. That's why I said it's hard to say how somebody's going to do because there's such a difference. I mean, look at the lifers that went into the Truck Series and that were successful versus
that's a difficult spot for
those that struggled in Cup. Say, Ron Hornaday is probably the most notable name. Ron Hornaday, Mike Skinner for Jack Sprague. The guys that weren't good in the higher divisions, but killed it in the Truck Series.
Denny Hamlin with them.
The Herbst has the thing going for Herbst is the sponsorship. Yeah, Benson. Benson would be another one, Hamill, but because Benson won a title in both then Busch Series, but Xfinity Series and Trucks. But only had the one lone Cup win.
We're not sure what we have for the race. Not real happy with the handling of it. Front end was good, but rear grip not so good.
Yeah, Elliott Sadler's another one.
So far today, just a little bit tight, but they've adjusted on
Sadler's another one.
Got it done as well. Regan.
Well, Jamie, Todd Gilliland having a great day so far after a good past couple weeks, up from 15th to 9th position right now. The report from the driver just a little bit tight, but the one thing his car is doing is the same thing the team.
Yeah, Jeff was a champion.
Our car is very good on the long run. Keep an eye on us. We're going to surprise some people.
Got Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, top 10 after starting 15th. His graphic scheme is a throwback to his car's late model, first ever win back in
Scott Riggs is kind of weird because Riggs
this guy right here,
only had a couple of wins in Xfinity and Trucks. I think he only had maybe like one truck win and then a couple of Xfinity wins. So,
because it's you against the track. You got to take care of the car. You got to put the car
and he never really, that's true, he never really went back down
after
the Cup Series.
Doing that, and they put him in position to lead this race. And
yeah, Brad is all over these two.
You want to have control of the race.
Larson got around Byron.
Thing to do against the likes of the guys that are out here hounding on him. I mean, look at the.
I think it's.
Be careful here.
And that's the type
Ty
of
trying to get around the lap car.
You just gotta be careful with right here. You don't want to tear your car up.
Look at the gap that it afforded him. Sometimes you got to be bold on this racetrack.
Honestly, it's Larson's. I'll admit it. Yeah, he's my second favorite active Cup driver, but yeah, I gotta admit it. The Terry Labonte throwback is probably the best one this weekend.
If Ty Gibbs can
but I said this before, and I know Hamill might have heard me say this before.
His first career victory at Darlington since 2011. Regan Smith did that.
Our man Regan.
The Kellogg scheme is probably might be one of my favorite all-time NASCAR schemes. I said what my favorite one is in here before, but yeah, the Terry Labonte throwback is probably my favorite one.
You can see how much tire wear there are on the tear off. Man, look at this! Holy cow! Hold on to it, boys.
Wide into the corner.
Yeah, that 6 car is fast. I think the only car that might be quicker than Keselowski right now, I think, is Larson.
Brad Keselowski, 61 laps complete.
There you go. Hot Rod Lincoln, Commander Cody, and his airman. Love that song.
I'm Anya's indecision. I thought you were good. Like with home projects? I used to make sure she got so twisted around.
No, Race Hub is what they canceled, Zach. For at the end of the year.
Changed her. With all the plans and guides and reminders, Anya's getting stuff done. And I'm getting ghosted.
Indecision doesn't live here. You do. Take care of your home with Thumbtack. Download the app today.
Well, I didn't see yesterday. Hit Bumble, so I can't compare. I just based off the Cup
Sadly, we
schemes.
can't have it all, except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips.
Gordon Ramsay looks for his next food star.
Entrepreneurs are fighting for a $250,000 prize.
But this time, he faces his biggest rival ever.
Who wants to be on Team Vanderpump?
It's Team Lisa versus Team Gordon.
Chicken Vanderpump off.
Food Stars premieres Wednesday, May 22nd on Fox.
Have you ever asked for help yourself?
It's always tough, right?
I always feel like I can solve my own problems.
Yeah, Hamill, yours is the same as mine. Yours is the same as mine. I already know that.
There's so much support.
Conquer the weekend with the 4,500-pound towing capacity of the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe XRT.
Breathing Claritin Clear is like feeling the breeze instead of feeling congested. Fast relief of allergies with nasal congestion so you can breathe better. Claritin plus decongestant. Live Claritin Clear. Memphis, Michigan. Touchdown! Then Arlington, San Antonio. My goodness! The United Football League
Well,
on Fox.
we'll see. I mean, again, I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about, not concerned with Ford because we saw this out of Chevrolet in 18 when they introduced the Camaro. I mean, hell, Hendrick didn't win a race that year until Chase won Watkins Glen. So I'm not concerned with Ford. Not yet. Yep.
Boy, a lot's changed here in 75 years since the first Southern 500. Nice crowd on hand on a beautiful, warm spring day as Ty Gibbs leads Kyle Larson by 2.3 seconds. And still a lot of traffic in that battle from second on back.
Yeah, this is a good race back here.
Don't look now. Here comes Truex.
Truex, Reddick, Brad, Byron.
Behind him. Who is that? Truex.
This has always
Gibbs has
been a really
pulled
good
his
track
lead
record
out
for
almost
Joe
3
Gibbs
seconds
racing. I
on,
think that
or
carries
2.5
through
on
to the next gen car, and
Larson.
like I said earlier, I mean, this is a Martin Truex style of day where you got to take care and manage the car, not get too wound up, put yourself in a bad situation, tear up your car, hit the wall. This has a lot of ingredients for Martin Truex to be successful.
Not saying he's ever going to leave there or that he's pretty much going to stay there, but Todd Gilliland definitely with his development as of recently, I don't think he's going to leave there. The best thing for him would be to stay there. I still think that team's going to lose a lot when they lose McDowell. But
did you see that smoke rolling off the side of his car when he was rubbing doors with that lap car in 99?
It was time to go.
It's time.
At 99, you can mess with them so long, and those cars in the mirror get bigger. Then you got to do something about it.
Larry Mack.
So, guys, to your point about Joe Gibbs Racing, in the 4 Gen 7 races at Darlington, they have led 51% of the laps.
Damn.
But they've had more DNFs than top 10s. Martin Truex Jr. has led 221 laps in those 4 Gen 7 races. 3 DNFs, 2 for accident and 1 for mechanical failure. They're having a tough time.
Feast or famine for JGR here in the new car. 51% of the laps they've led in 4 races.
Chaotic. Always take out a lot of cars.
Jeez. Oh, you must have did it to me on Twitter then.
We obviously both like. They've made a lot of mistakes lately and cost themselves some
I know
great
it. Yeah,
finishes, but you know that stuff goes in chunks, and Ty Gibbs has as well. You know, see him rub the wall right there.
Yeah, it's a cool looking car.
Just talked about how patient he's been out.
Especially in comparison to the picture that they had with it.
Little reminder there.
Yeah, that spotter saw the same thing that you guys are seeing at home.
All right, I can see that.
Line on the entry to turn 1, Clint. That's a very Kyle Larson line that you see Ty Gibbs using there. Denny Hamlin would run that high line getting into 1. It just seems to, in this car, it's not something that I like to do, but after last year and going through the couple of years in this car, it just really helps that car get in the corner and helps to enter that middle third of the corner with the right angle.
But you know I'm going to say it because I've already said it. Granted, I noticed there are 3 Fords in the top 10, but story of this season.
Check with Jamie on the 6th place car.
Gibbs v. Hendrick. First, second, third, 6th, 7th, and 10th. 6 of the top 10 are either Gibbs or Hendrick.
It's so fun to drive. When you have a good car, it's fun to just slip, slide around, run up at the the wall. He was in a good mood. I just had a good feeling about this team, guys.
Thanks, Jamie. Now, Martin Truex is the only Gibbs driver with a throwback scheme. This is the Moody Blue scheme that he ran to victory here in the Southern 500 in 2016. The first win for that sponsor with Martin.
Well, I would refer them, the other three teams, to take the lead from Martin next year. Let's do a little better with our throwbacks, Clint.
Now, one driver made a really long run prior to making his green flag pit stop, and that was Ryan Blaney. Here he is. He ran 45 laps on his first set of Goodyear Eagles. That was about 8 laps longer than most of the race leaders. Now, he was running 18th at the start of the pit stop cycle. Now, with that late stop, he is in 13th position.
He gained some spots.
And the last few laps has been one of the faster cars on the racetrack.
Well, it's like I mentioned when these guys were holding out to stay out on the racetrack. You got to do something to get yourself on a different strategy. And these guys have waited a little bit longer to pit. Now that they have fresher tires, the gap in the lap time is bigger, so that it should be easier to make their time through traffic.
Now, Bubba Wallace, carrying the Toyota Cam, had a similar strategy. He was running 7th when he pitted. Ty Gibbs getting a little coaching here.
Russian kicked it under 2 seconds now.
Don't get to the middle from too far back, and it's going to be a no man's land and lead space the whole corner just to fight it behind him down the straightaway. Make sure you get the timing right to maximize your lap time and set the pass up for exit.
Well, that's what we were talking about during the commercial, Clint. When these guys know they can race you on entry. They can
yeah, I already said it. I honestly like Terry's scheme. I think that the Terry scheme from Larson is probably my favorite one that I've seen.
On the inside car, you can break that pass from happening, and that's what he's talking about.
14 to go.
Make a pass. Let's make it. Let's not waste our time underneath.
Right now, Bubba holds the final stage point.
Talking about is that 5 car's getting bigger in the mirror, catching him a couple tenths a lap.
Ty Gibbs has brushed the wall at least 3 times.
The manufactured channel points rely on that battle up front between Larson and Gibbs.
13 to go in stage 1 at Darlington. We're going to take you Fox side by side.
Beach Boys 409. Another lap car.
It's not about the cars, the speed,
about the lap car. It's costing Gibbs time.
Party or the long weekend. It's about them, the ones that gave everything. This Memorial Day weekend, we honor the fallen at America's Home for Racing, the 65th running of the Coca-Cola 600.
Gibbs loose into that corner. They give the lead to Larson.
There's no
Larson got a little loose trying to get underneath Hocevar.
As long as Ford is your starting line. Because more important than the power,
I keep telling them that, Eric. Nothing's confirmed.
Is what you choose to do.
The only thing that's been 100% confirmed is McDowell Aspire next year. Other than that, everything else is rumors.
Power is yours.
Nothing is confirmed.
And they're all coming?
Those who are still with us, yes.
What's this? Your wings.
Light them up.
Gentlemen,
it's that's cool. Okay. All right, Xfinity, you got me with that one. That's a good one. I can't, yeah.
The 3 for Me, only at Chili's, is now available with the all-new Big Smasher Burger, piled up high with nearly half a pound of beef. Or you can settle for
So
just
do I,
some
him.
other
I've listened to
burger
that
at a
album multiple
drive-thru.
times.
Anyway, gonna need some room.
My favorite
As the 3 for Me
Ever Fleetwood
still
Mac
fills
song
up
is
the
on
table with
that
a
album.
bottomless drink, all the famous Chili's chips and salsa you can eat, and it's still the best deal around at just $10.99. See you later, Tiny Drive-Thru Burger. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
Depends on where the funding is, Mark. If they got sponsorship for the one car versus the other, they may end up switching numbers. It also depends on where the owner's points are for that car too. Junior is not coming to Cup. I can't tell you how many times I keep squashing that because Junior himself said that he was not bringing anything to Cup. Why do we keep having statements saying Junior's, oh, he's going to be part of this, or oh, he's moving JRM? Junior is not coming to Cup. He said that himself, that he wasn't coming to Cup. So, I don't know why that one keeps carrying. Seriously, there's a rumor every year that Junior's going to move. Oh, JRM's moving to Cup. Oh, Junior's coming to Cup. It's a rumor every year, just about.
Let's hear what Ty Gibbs had to say.
He's not. Junior is not getting invested in Cup. He straight up said that. He squashed that a long time ago on his own podcast.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw the loose. He looks loose. Hold on to it. Stay disciplined. Only 6 to go to the stage end.
Very good point right there. You know, you got to stay disciplined and keep the car straight. Just drive as fast as the car will go. If it's too loose, just slow down. Because the last thing you want to do is slide this thing into the wall. I'd rather lose 2 or 3 spots than crash.
Steinkar's in trouble. We're watching the 5 car, his teammate Kyle Larson, but man, Chase Elliott hasn't really went anywhere. Hasn't been able to make much ground up in the back. I think
the rumors about Junior, some way, shape, or form, ownership in Cup.
Didn't see that out of them. They've been on a roll.
Chase Elliott in 24th. Now, taking a look at stage points, Ryan Blaney, remember he was 18th before the pit stop cycle. He ran the first 45 laps.
He was the latest pitter, so he's got the freshest tires of anybody right now.
With that strategy.
Which I like this. I like the game, but at the same time, it's going to suck because then they're basically all going to be on the same tires because everybody's going to pit now. So you're not necessarily going to have that advantage now after the stage. So.
With what they gave up at the end of that last first cycle.
Yeah, it's not a money issue. I think it's the fact that he said he was never going to. He had no interest in coming to Cup as an owner.
Top of the show. I'm jealous of these guys. The work that it takes to run up next to that wall lap after lap.
Exactly, Hamill. I mean, that's the biggest thing there that you could say is it's to go to Shadow's point. It's Dale fucking Jr. If he wanted to come to Cup, I guarantee you there'd be a way to bring him to Cup. There'd be companies lining up to, hey, it's Junior.
I've seen what you look like.
You know.
Power steering.
Do I need to remind you again? We've already covered it.
Chase may go off to lose a lap here. Granted, he would be the lucky dog at this point.
Steering, Mike, you know who it was?
It was me. I only had 6 cylinders.
Here we go.
Now, Junior, you can mark my words on this. If something changes, you can mark my words on this. Junior's not coming to Cup as a team owner. Junior will not come to Cup in any way, shape, or form as a team owner. You can mark my words on that. If it changes, you can send me the article when he officially confirms it, but he's not investing in a Cup.
I'm a little bit surprised at it, Denny Hamlin, so far, Kevin. Really thought on
and why would he?
Like this,
why would he as good as the Xfinity team is doing? Why would he?
Stage 1, Larson holding station behind Chase Elliott so as not to put his Hendrick Chevy teammate a lap down.
It's still not going to happen. I mean, Jeff is understandable because he has all that history with Hendrick. Kurt was driving before, obviously, his until the concussion basically ended his career.
Of 2023, so he is on great pace as he rounds off turn 4.
Larson wins stage 1.
Throwback scheme to Terry Labonte's '96 championship.
I think, did he get him, Kevin?
We have a photo finish for position?
He rode around the track with Terry Labonte in pre-race.
Terry looking good. He's got a little gray hair, but he's still looking good.
He's your stage 1 winner.
It's a good song. Chuck Berry. No particular place to go.
Also known as the Seriously Wrong handle. And even
wow, that was a close one too between Toyota and Chevrolet. Only a 4% difference in voting.
Things changed for me. Breztree gave me better breathing, symptom improvement.
Surprised on that one.
Breztree won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztree more than prescribed. Breztree may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsening breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
Ask your doctor about Breztree.
What if finding a new job wasn't such a leap of faith?
I don't think I'm right for this. I said I don't think I'm right for the job.
You're perfect for it! What if you knew you'd be paid fairly? Because you could literally see what the job pays. What if your schedule worked for you, and her, and them? And what if?
No, what do you know? Just the right amount of letters.
I got the interview.
Well, we could discuss it a little bit because obviously the big story coming into this week was McDowell leaving Front Row and going to Spire next year. So yeah, we could discuss it a little bit, but we don't need to discuss it much further than that.
Right in front of you. All that meat and cheese just for me. Watching that takes me to my happy place. Oh wait, Jersey Mike's is my happy place.
I mean, I like doing it. Don't get me wrong. I'll sit here and give my thoughts on that, you know. Because I have like everyone else, I have my own thoughts on things. So.
Thanks, Reality Kelly. Sliced right in front of you. It's the Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Operation Wonder Park is a go!
There's nothing more powerful than imagination.
Honey, have you seen my cell phone?
But don't just imagine.
My park came to life?
Ooh, a plot twist.
Use STEM to build.
Oh, darling.
Create.
She did it.
And change the world.
Who's with me?
I'm more of a 2 feet on the ground kind of guy.
It's gonna hurt tomorrow.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
I got one Mother's Day, you know?
Dudes are studs, athletes.
You better have a grown man attitude when you jump over that wall.
Boy, rush hour was never like this.
This is my favorite stretch of races right here. Pit stop heavy, so we get to go out, have an impact on the race.
It's his pit crew, lights out.
You have to be precise.
No mistakes. Show me what you got.
Quite a mix.
Be the second time today the pit crews get a chance to shine. Let's check with Jamie.
Well, Mike Martin Truex Jr.'s pit crew has gone through a lot of changes over the last 2 years. Most recently, 3 weeks ago. Well, since they made that change, this team is gelling. They're getting more consistent.
No, yeah, that was officially confirmed also.
Team 19.
McDowell Aspire, that was officially confirmed.
Lee Cunningham, front tire changer.
Originally, yes. Originally it was rumored.
I'd like to say happy Mother's
But
Day.
now, yeah, it's confirmed now. It's been confirmed.
Janet, and my beautiful wife Brittany. Mike Valoria, rear tire changer, former collegiate hockey player at Robert Morris University.
CJ Bailey, tire carrier from the Outer Banks, former Fayetteville State running back. Caleb Dirks,
Well, they're definitely better than where they have been, Lucas.
And Los Angeles Dodgers organization. Been in NASCAR, coming up on 5 years.
I'd like to follow them more than what I am. I'd like to follow, honestly, I'd like to follow the NHA more because I do like, that's probably my second favorite after, obviously, motorsports. But I haven't followed enough to say for certain.
Shout out to my wife, happy Mother's Day, and my kids.
But it wouldn't surprise me if they sneak in next year.
Quite a crew. And ready.
Actually, the better one to ask that may be Hamill. Hamill, I don't know how well you can. Been following the NHL this year, if you can help him with that. But
for Team 19, now look at the bottom of that chart, lower right. Ryan Blaney and Bubba Wallace. Those strategies paid off in stage 1.
Well, don't think these crew chiefs aren't paying attention to that. But I want to go back to these pit crews. We talk about them and how important they are. I'm glad we're showcasing them this year.
You see, that's the trade-off with.
Larson just been lights out.
I understand the strategy they're going with that, because you want the freshest tires, the latest, meaning you want the best tires for late in the run. The problem with that is you're assuming that the run goes far enough that you can reap the benefits of that. Truex, 9-7. Picked up a 10th over Larson. Gibbs, it looks like it's going to get out ahead of Larson. See if anybody else. Oh, Keselowski's team. Brad's team going to get it done? No, Reddick's team, I think, got it done.
45 didn't have to move much. Where's he at? +3. That number 1 box. There it is, Kevin.
Second favorite motorsport? NHRA.
That's all it takes for Tyler Reddick to get that
NHRA,
first
drag racing.
Paying off.
Nitro cars. Freaking love the Nitro
Kyle
cars.
Larson is your stage.
I haven't really been watching it, but because doing things in the afternoon after the races, I'm not able to watch the races, but I do keep up on their YouTube channel. So. No, funny car. Funny car's the same thing, Sonic. Under the NHL or under the NHL, under the NHRA, you have 4 divisions. You have the top fuel, which is the dragsters, the funny cars, the pro stock, which is cars, pro stocks, and the bikes. That's what's all under the NHRA banner. So it's like NASCAR where they have the 3 divisions, but in NHRA instead of 3 they have 4. And the nitromethane cars are, as Hannibal said, the dragsters and the funny cars.
With juicy steak and melted pepper jack cheese. Just scan the QR code and enter promo code FLBOGO.
Oh, I'm all over this deal.
It only works on the other side of the street.
Well, that's the benefit of the first pit stall too. Get wrecked. That's the benefit of being the pole sitter, is you get the option to choose that first pit stall.
You don't need the same Duracell batteries that help.
It's the same at pretty much every racetrack. That's an interesting story, Jason. I want to know. I'm curious how you came from there to the other.
Until you do. Duracell is a proud partner of Williams Racing.
I'd be curious about that one, Hamill. Because I don't think you've discussed that. If you have, I completely missed it. Now, it's true, I will watch the Indy 500 every year, just about every year. Obviously, I went and saw it live in 2017, but I'm not as big a fan in IndyCar as IndyCar, so...
Tear, form, live more with Liquid IV.
The United Football League on Fox.
Yeah, Tony's doing really well. Granted, I think he's got 1 round win already, but he's not, he's still getting used to it. Of course, Tony is usually pretty good at excelling.
Boy, Dale Earnhardt and Terry Labonte, they had some battles. But it all resulted in Texas Terry being a 2-time NASCAR champion. And
yep.
What a great
1984 and 1996.
Kyle Larson, both in your HendrickCars.com red and yellow suits. Was there any question which one of you is going to climb in that race?
Ask me the closer we get to it, John.
I think I got the right man behind.
Ask me the closer we get to it.
What a thrill to have you back here,
man.
I'm not going to say no. What I think.
You know, Rick Hendrick and Hendrick Motorsports. I can't thank them enough for doing this throwback car. It's got to be the coolest one I've seen in all the years they've done this. And you know, Kyle, he does a great job every weekend, everywhere he goes. So it's really fun to watch.
We've been talking about just the paint scheme and all the Hendrick car paint schemes, and you look at their program.
It's amazing how good Terry, other than a little gray hair.
The best marketing scheme, they got the best driver, all in the same cars. I mean, that's got to be fun. But talk to us about Darlington. Where did this track rank on your favorites list?
You know, it was really one of my favorites. I guess ran my first race here. I won my first race here. I won my last race here. And the only difference is if I'd have known that was my last race, I'd have quit then. But so it's always been a special place. I've always loved to come down here. It's a tough racetrack. I think I hold the record for how many years between wins, but it's been fun to come down here.
Well, let's show you a stat here of drivers who have won in their 200th start, and half of those are standing right here.
Well, you know what that means, Terry. We're both old.
Well, I'm older than you.
Well, it's as you look at that list, it takes.
I mean, I'd love to have DW back up there, Drift, but, you know, DW deserves his retirement, you know?
At Darlington, and
he deserves his retirement. He deserves to spend time with his family. And
what's it been like this week as you've gone through everything? Most importantly, when did this all start?
Well, you know, I knew they were trying to do a throwback of the old Kellogg's car, and you know, there were some copyright things, and you know, a lot of times the sponsors own the paint scheme copyrights, and so they finally got that worked out. And I knew they had been working on it, and I didn't think nothing of it. And went down there to Race Hub a few weeks ago, and they unveiled the car, and I went, oh my. You know, I thought it was a special car, but I didn't realize it was that one.
DW was actually in the booth as recently as last year at North Wilkesboro. So, because we had the NASCAR and Fox reunion when you had him, Larry, and Mike in the booth together.
Stage 2. Tyler Reddick, Brad Keselowski.
All right, stage 2.
Back to green, and again, Reddick.
Yes, it is, John.
Thank you, number 1 pit stall.
Yep. Now we'll see. Now Reddick's car wasn't as good in the long run.
Yesterday after qualifying, because he knows how much easier that number 1 pit stall makes this day. And you saw
Brad's crew really stepped up on that set of stops, though.
Man, look at Blaney coming by, looking to the inside of.
Yeah, my boy, trying to break that into the top 5.
Good day so far for Ryan Blaney.
So if we can keep a good, consistent day going.
Really paid off for the defending series champion Blaney, who now slots in 6th place. Todd Gilliland lost 6 spots on pit road, dropped from 6th to 12th.
Terry, I think the biggest
I should say he was solidly in the top 10, John. He got into the top 10 before the stage end again. They were the latest to pit in that round of green flag pit stops. So they had the fresh tires that they were using at the end of that run.
You know, I can remember years ago, you do not want to go in the corner side by side because you can lose so much time. But it seems like they make it work today. Or
keep an eye on Truex too.
But it's still the same old Darlington. It looks to me like, Terry, it looks like you race the racetrack, no different than all you guys told us when I came into this sport. Do not get enticed with racing that guy. If he's faster than you right now, live to see another lap.
Exactly right. You got to let him go. And this is
Todd having a good run right now.
Test that. If you ran a 500-mile test here, you'd be lucky if you didn't hit the wall. You know, and it's just a tough track. You're going so fast.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you on that one, Lucas. I'm not going to disagree with you on that one because I think that's honestly a fair comparison.
How long has it been since you've seen those fellas?
Well, actually,
so far in Bowman's career, he's had the one really boss season in 21, and much like Kane with Hendrick, he had the one real great season for them. And
everybody was in there, and I was like, oh man! Wow. I looked at Gary and I said, you lied to me.
I'm not surprised.
But, it was really nice seeing those guys. I mean, it was awesome.
What have you been doing these days? I saw another Labonte at the racetrack the other day, huh? Over the go-kart track.
That's my grandson, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, he's he likes it. So.
What have you been doing?
Man, not much, you know. We got 4 grandkids, and they keep us kind of busy, and we stay close to home, but that's about it.
So this is 4 generations of racing Labontes.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
And right back to family tradition. That boy's fast, guys. Got some speed under him.
Eric Jones in his first race back in the number 43. Cracked vertebrae was not going to keep him away from Darlington, one of his favorites.
Yeah, one of his best tracks. No, that was Busch that got in the wall. That wasn't Jones.
Yeah, that's the second time he's been in the wall.
Well, obviously, Bowman doesn't have the extent. Casey had a long career to build the stats, so Bowman's not there yet. I'm just saying,
well, in the positioning of these cars,
at least his HMS career seemed to mirror Kane's.
You think you can do a little bit more?
At least so far.
See exactly what happened. And it's the same thing. You know, he's in.
It's got a little too high.
Sometimes you think you can get a little more, and as the front of that car just doesn't want to turn, it takes off.
Oh, you missed the whole discussion about that.
Than you expect it to.
I think it's a great move for Spire. Spire made a great pickup.
But those entries and exits,
it's going to take him a while, I think, to gel, but I think it's a great move for Spire to pick him out.
You look at how wide the entries and the exits are, and turn 2 I understand because there's the new pavement over there. Once it widens out, it just gets more grip. But that wide entry into turn 1, Denny Hamlin really started that several years ago. And, you know, a lot of these guys have carried that through to carry that momentum to the center of that corner.
Well, you can't say that, Lucas, because Casey actually finished, what was it, third in the cut points in, no, fourth in the cut points in 2012. His first year with Hendrick. They had a good season. Now, after that, yeah, they did kind of teeter off after that. Their peak was 2012, which was also Casey's best point finish, so...
He is...
It's got to be a challenge, huh?
He is challenging.
I wouldn't argue that it was Evernham's collapse that doomed his career. Well, he's still not really capitalizing. Him and Gregson are pretty much have a rope between them because they've pretty much been near each other since the early part of this race. Cars 9 and 10 following each other. How about that?
17
Larson won stage 1.
At Darlington, Tyler Reddick, our pole sitter, back out front of Ty Gibbs, Brad Keselowski, Martin.
Well, the other thing you got to keep in mind with even with the three names we've mentioned, Newman, Kane, and Bowman, all three of them had been with multiple teams too. You know, it's not like they stayed with one team for their entire Cup career too.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's going to go. So
the Jersey Mike's catering box, a sub above. I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to...
Newman's peak was 2014 with RCR. Well, I should say his actual peak was 2003 with Penske, but 2014 with RCR, that was his last good year, and then kind of teetered off from there.
Live unfiltered with the one and only Sotictu, a once daily pill for
Yes.
moderate to severe plaque psoriasis.
Yes, Vegas,
Clear or almost clear
Vegas, Kansas, and
so ready for your close-up or finding you don't have to
Bristol.
hide your skin, just your background.
Bristol Night Race.
Once daily Sotictu was proven better, getting more people clearer skin.
It's funny because I went back and if you look at the career, because I was looking back, I think of career wins of Matt Kenseth and how many times him and Casey actually finished 1-2 in their career. Because you got not only the ones that they had 2013, but they had 2 in 2004, Rockingham and Vegas back to back. So that's 5 total that they've had where they finished 1-2. And Matt Kenseth was on the winning end of all 5 of those. I think there was only one, and that was Atlanta in 2014 where it flipped. Casey beat Matt. So I think they've had 6 total through the span of their careers. And Matt was on the winning end of 5 of those 6. That would be pulling those stats out of my hat. Wait. Let me pull those stats out of my hat. Roush car, yeah, in 2019. Well, you got to keep in mind too, Dodge, the circumstances too. I mean, honestly, the most notable thing you can think about with 09 was Johnson. Johnson had some runs in 2019, bad finishes that doomed him when it came to the playoffs, trying to make the playoffs. And then obviously the crash at Indianapolis was the nail in the coffin. But that's what opened the door for Newman to point his way in, was Johnson's struggles.
Here at Darlington, 113 laps complete.
But Newman was punching above his weight in that Roush car too.
Interesting throwback scheme.
Obviously until
Tim
Daytona.
Richmond in 1982 won the Daytona 500 consolation race in a car with this paint scheme. Terry Labonte's with us. You raced against Tim.
I did.
What was he like?
Well, he was a character, I'll tell you that. But he was one heck of a race car driver. And when he was driving for Hendrick Motorsports, I mean, they were really awesome.
No.
They ran well.
I could see the argument.
And yeah, he was quite.
I could see the argument for saying that Harvick peaked with the title win.
Came from IndyCar,
But at the same time, it's hard to argue with how good he was in 2020. Yes, they didn't win the title.
Had a lot of fun. So Reddick's rocking the.
But honestly, I'd say that was his peak, was 2020. Honestly, I think you could even say that it was hitting the wall at Texas.
Yes. Yeah.
That was the point. From then on, it was never the same in the last real 3 years.
Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Yes, he won a couple times since then.
When you grew up.
But Really, it was after he hit the wall at Texas in 2020 that basically that was the end of it.
Last pit stop, I reported that Martin Truex Jr. had a vibration. He just wasn't sure what was going on. While I went down and checked out the tires, the left rear pretty used up.
And Newman, you're right. I was going to say Newman's turning point was the Daytona wreck.
They found out what the issue was. I also looked at other tires. Larson's were good. 24 William Byron, a little bit of cording on the left rear, but overall.
Yeah, hard. Now Johnson was Pocono 2017. Pocono 2017 was his mark. Never the same after that.
At the end of a run, that is about the only car that I've heard saying that all day long on a day when everybody is struggling for rear grip. Chris Buescher looking for a little
Henry's
bit
not
more
going to
front turn,
drop
so keep an eye on that as the day
Alex. Not unless they really lose sponsorship over there, which obviously Ally is committed to them.
From the race leader, Tyler Reddick.
The sponsor of the 48 is pretty much committed there, so. No, I wouldn't even say Brad's title did win the title in 2012, but I wouldn't see that's the point where he started to teeter off.
The right rear. You can't do that anywhere that we go. You want to have a little bit of wheel into it. What was the word you used earlier?
I'd say Brad's turning point was the new car.
Yeah, you want the car to be a little bit snug.
When the new car came in 22.
And I think
and he's been trying to he's slowly, I think, building back.
I really think a lot of those
his valley was when the new car was introduced, going to Roush, leaving Penske, and now he's slowly trying to go back up the incline.
Terry, how did you manage balance here in the 90s?
Oh gosh,
how did you like the car?
About neutral, really. But you really have to start with it a little bit on the tight side, you know. But and then after you ran a while, then it would, you know, get to the neutral stage. But you couldn't start too tight, but sure didn't want to start loose either, because you're going to wear the back tires out on it.
I always thought one of the more interesting things when we came here, because the cars used to fall off more than they do now with the old surface. It would be 4 seconds, 3-4 seconds.
A lot of tire under these cars.
Well, there's a lot of tire, and it's been repaved since then. But with the old pavement, qualifying was always breathtaking here. It still is, but I always found it to be a little bit more breathtaking because of
Gibbs is keeping it close between him and Reddick. It's about a second.
And the tires were so fast for that lap, and then when you came in and made a pit stop under green, I mean, you were so much faster, the guys that stayed out there. But it was a big difference, you know. It was crazy.
Double the horsepower. Don't forget that.
Don't talk about horsepower, Clint.
Larry Mack.
Hey, Terry, tell those two guys sitting beside you, the 80s and 90s, we didn't have
Ooh, Nemechek around.
We actually had lift.
Got Nemechek
around
on the front straightaway, guys.
Facing the wrong way in that Lee Petty 1956 Dodge tribute car. John Hunter Nemechek was running 17th at the time of the spin. This is the second caution of the day. It comes at 120.
He's going to try to get rolling.
Right front tires.
That one might high center itself. No, you got rolling.
Left rear right front, Ben. Left rear right front.
Yes.
So we can get back to pit road.
Oh,
it rolled back.
there it is. Well, as we
he was already
this
spinning.
Year, when the tires start to get worn, when this car, when you try to get a little bit too much and you think you can just ride it out, this car will just snap around on you and spin out. That's exactly what happened right there.
Yeah, I think the right front blew when he was sliding. So
yeah, it was just like Kyle.
The 10 cars suck.
Like
you guys are going on that discussion about the 10 cars suck.
I'm glad you said that. Savior to Kyle Busch.
You can say what you want about Danica, but the 10 cars sucked. Period.
Like him.
That car was never that good.
He was in the free pass position, so of course he's ineligible since it's.
I'm not going to blame Danica for that because that car was just trash.
Let's double check that. Scoring saying that the 3, Austin Dillon, will get the free pass. Nemechek had been in the free pass position, but apparently the 3 got past him before that caution came out. Josh Berry, good run here, up to 13th.
Yeah, one win.
33rd.
One win.
Showing good speed in that.
One win in that car.
Yeah, I saw
Amarola actually, I think, had what, 2 wins in that car?
Speed on X last night, and he wasn't lying. That car
compared to the 41.
Definitely marched forward all day.
That's why I say the debate between which one was worse is Stuart Haas. The 41 won more races than the 10 car did.
Guys. More than half the field has touched that wall, Terry, or time or 2 or 10.
Yeah, two wins
Easy
total.
to do here.
Yeah, and if you don't do it in today's world, they almost say you're not trying hard enough because of the car's durability with that right side.
Talladega, New Hampshire. Amarola won 3 wins total in his career.
The front stretch and the back stretch. The field would be split in half, say here in Martinsville, as it still is at Bristol. But John Hunter Nemechek is going to have to drive 1 3/8 miles to get to pit road. and come all the way around as long as he's got a couple tires up to do so.
I think he's he's at the end of pit road trying to get onto pit road. I think he's stuck now.
Yep.
He's from our vantage point stuck behind the
which will
Sunoco
close
sign.
pit road speed again.
There
Another lap.
So pit road is still closed.
That the 41 has more. If you look at the wins, the 41 had more wins than the 10 did. I know it's a debate on both, but if you ask me which one of the two was worse, it was the 10. It was the 10 that was worse. Now, as of recently, like within the last 2-3 years, the 41's been worse.
I'm Johnny Roberts, front tire changer. This is my 14th season on the
But
pit road.
no, the 10 car was the weak link there. That car was the worst one.
My husband to Shay, and a father to my son Lane.
Until just the last couple of years.
Steve Price, rear tire changer.
Really, when they lost
every series of NASCAR in the 2023
they
fastest
lost
NASCAR
Kurt in that
pit
car,
crew.
really,
Tobin McClurkin,
is when it's
tire carrier,
flopped.
Daytona 500 champion, Truck Series champion. Want to give a shout out to my beautiful wife sitting at home. Love you, girl. Go Birds.
Dustin linebacker Jackman, former ECU and UFL linebacker, two-time Xfinity Series champion, 2014 Daytona 500 winner, 2023 Most Valuable Pit Crew Award winner, and proud husband and father to Amy and Gibson.
Brad Robinson, gas man, former football player at Portland State, defensive line, 18 years in the sport. Would like to give a shout out to my wife Lauren and 3 girls, Peyton, Collins, and Corey.
Yeah. Almirola just timed his wins
Matt
right.
McCall, 3 career wins. He's crew chief for Brad since
I completely disagree with
2022. Spotter up on the roof. TJ
That's what everybody's going to say because
Imagine having a last
it's
name
the
like
easy
linebacker
answer to
and
that.
being a linebacker.
Of course, what else?
Danica's biggest problem was she was moved to Cup too soon. She was doing decent in Xfinity in 2020 or 2012, but was moved to Cup way too soon for a team that wasn't even a fully supported Stewart-Haas car in
Let's just say,
2013.
be lucky you're the race car driver if you have nothing left.
Part-time in 2012.
Oh man.
Thank
So
God.
yeah, no,
There's a path for
people. Rough up here, Terry.
Yeah, I can see that.
I would have liked what she would have done if she had been placed in a car that was good at that time, like a Hendrick car
John
or
Nemechek's car has been towed.
2019 or a Gibbs
almost to
car.
his pit
You know,
stall,
you wonder what would have happened.
Where it may kind of impede.
We don't know
Chile
because
right
she was
behind
never
him and
in
Byron
grade
right
A
in front of
equipment.
him just a little bit. And they won't open pit road until that wrecker is clear. Here's the Ford onboard camera for Harrison Burton. Burton started scratch on the field today.
Yeah.
See Ryan Priest and United Rentals.
I would have liked to stay in
onboard cam there.
see her stay in Xfinity
His,
Series until they got her a win.
Winning modified paint
You
scheme
know,
on,
and then
championship
go from
modified
there.
Paint scheme on his car this weekend.
Yeah,
Especially for somebody, because you could almost argue.
As his guest. Ricky
You look at
Stenhouse.
all the drivers that have run
carrying the Oscar
for
Mayer
Indy
car.
cars and come to
Don't
Cup
call it
Series
the Wienermobile.
racing.
Okay, go
Only
ahead. It's the
one
Wienermobile.
arguably has been the best of the
There's
bunch,
some
and that's
Brad
Tony
Keselowski
Stewart.
radio.
I mean, it's true, Montoya won twice. He won 2 road course races. And honestly probably should have had more. But the best driver we had that drove an open wheel car and came to Cup
It's not impeding anybody.
was Tony
It's a
Stewart.
square right in the middle of his box. And, the
Other than that, every other
gone back to
driver
pit
has
station
has
and
not
out of
been
the way.
anywhere near close to Tony's numbers. So
Hold suit here.
it's not easy making that change,
They're going to have to deal with Reddick.
as it is. And then when you try to rush him to Cup, it makes it even worse.
Gibbs right behind him. Keselowski third. Jamie.
Ty Gibbs
Well, Tony's a 3-time Cup champion, Dodge. And I'm looking at Cup stats, not AJ's been boss in Xfinity, but even then, he only has wins. He hasn't won a title yet over there yet.
He said it's certainly manageable. Air pressure adjustment there.
And AJ's been good, don't get me wrong, but still, if you compare him, Tony Stewart's still the king when it comes to that. 3 Cup titles and 49 career Cup wins.
Reddick took off good, wants to be a little bit tighter
So-
taking off this time. It was neutral at the end of the run. That means it was good for him.
Might have been a little contact.
Again, we don't know because she never was given the best equipment. The best cars at Stewart-Haas when Danica was there were given
Wasn't
to
even close this time.
were given to Tony and then later Harvick when Harvick got there.
125 laps complete under caution in Darlington.
Yeah. Now, I say Stewart because I'm modern era NASCAR. Granted, back in the day, AJ, you could make the case and the argument that AJ Foyt is the greatest motorsports driver in overall because he was good in so many different disciplines. But I'm talking, you know, more recent, like basically from say early 90s to now, you know, like Stewart, Kenny Irwin Jr. was one that came from open wheel to NASCAR. John Andretti, you could make the argument. That's what I mean. I don't necessarily mean. I mean, AJ Foyt was a complete boss on his own. And like I said, if you want to ask me who I think the greatest overall motorsport driver is, at least in American motorsports, it's AJ Foyt. I mean, he won in basically anything he drove. So, I mean.
It only works on the other side of the screen, buddy.
Chuck, you still got a landline at your house.
Here, just take my pre-sub.
But we're talking IndyCar Zero, Indy cars to NASCAR, not dirt cars to NASCAR. That's a different story. I'm talking Indy cars to NASCAR. Yeah, Gordon was a dirt guy. That's true. We know that. But
until you do. Duracell is a proud partner of Williams Racing.
We're talking strictly IndyCar to NASCAR. And there's a list of names too that have done it. Dario Franchitti, Jack Villeneuve, Robbie Gordon. Obviously, I mentioned Tony, Montoya, Kenny Irwin Jr., Mario. But Mario was, again, I'm not listing Mario and AJ because those were before NASCAR's modern era. Mario won Daytona in '67, so that was before NASCAR's modern era. And even then, I think that was Mario's only win in NASCAR as well.
Welcome back to Darlington. 127 laps complete. Everybody was on pit road at this caution for John Hunter Nemechek, which means that was 35 laps complete of stage number 2. But Larry, this stage is 5 laps longer than stage number 1, so where are we?
Yeah, Mike, we're going to go back racing with about 57 laps to go. That's easily in the fuel window. Honestly, I don't know that I see them trying to split that in half. I mean, that's going to be a long run, 57 laps, but I'm not so sure we're going to go caution-free the rest of this stage.
I hope we see it. I hope they run the whole way because they're going to be a handful if they do.
Absolutely.
Hey, Lucifer. I'm kind of surprised you're tuning into my stream if you're sitting here watching actually watching the race.
I know that this stage is long right here. You're going to have a long run. Take care of these tires.
Well, it's a tough balance at the beginning of this run to lose as little track position as possible and put yourself in a position to get in the top line and save the tires.
I'm talking modern era. Namely, what I'm looking at is the influx that really started with Tony.
Get ready for the restart.
Of, you know, IndyCar guys coming to NASCAR.
Back to green.
All right, green. Yeah, Bill Davis, the Babe Ruth car. He drove in the Xfinity Series.
Sir, here comes William Byron on that inside. They squeeze him.
Ooh, Bernie's in defense. Oh, Truex. Busher with damage.
Accordion style behind him. Caution wave.
Toe links broke on the 12, right rear.
Toe link broke.
And this is
God
almost
damn it.
an identical situation. That
Such a
Truex
good
was
run
in
going
last year.
too.
In the middle right there, he gets loose, goes up the racetrack.
Truex has got some nose damage. I don't know how bad it is for
And Truex was
Truex.
trying to back out. You'll see it on the replay here. He was trying to back out, but he's tore up too.
As soon as he backed out, it looked like he got loose.
I don't know how bad Busher
Tore
is.
up race cars.
Let's watch from the Goodyear.
Man. Can we just have some luck, please?
Byron, he's the one
Please.
that gets the run here.
Applause.
Goes to the inside as he gets into 3, gets him 3 wide.
Reddick was pushing Blaney there. Yeah, Byron pushed him 3 into the corner.
Get to the outside of the 19,
Byron pushed him 3 in the corner and then squeezed
Yeah, they just
Truex
all
into
came together
Blaney.
right there. And We talked about it in the beginning of the show.
Busher might be okay. I think Busher's okay.
On the front end too.
Possibly that gap, that splitter, right? You said that in a
You can't run 3 wide at Darlington.
Cannot get that separation.
And Byron basically just squeezed Truex. There really wasn't.
Gets into the side of Truex, and Truex was trying.
Truex tried to get out of it too, and there was just not much more he could do.
Yeah, 17 is going to have that front end damage like you're talking about.
Let's watch from Bubba Wallace.
Ooh, Bubba and Larson had a little door slam there.
Yeah, you can definitely see those cars make side-to-side contact pretty hard. And this is that balance that we're talking about, right? You see William Byron all the way down on the bottom. The 12 gets to the outside and actually clips the right rear of the 19, slows him down.
Well, 2 of the last 3.
Byron. They all know how
last 2 years,
to get the track
really.
Position. And right here, somebody's going to have to lift, and nobody does, and they wreck.
Yeah, it just sucks because we were running decent. We were running in solidly in the top 10.
See, his front end's messed up too. Even they get him back out, he's not going to have much speed in that car. Got Truex on pit road.
Byron squeezed the 19. Yeah, Ryan, go kick their asses.
Terry, how about this? You answer that, Terry.
One of them was date your sister, so I mean,
yeah, well, it got a little tight.
that should be pretty fun.
That's a tough place, 2 wide.
Well, I was watching the left side tires on Byron's car. He did a really good job of trying to keep that car right on the bottom of the racetrack, and then right at the exit, he
slid up.
Came up a little. Blaney came down just a little. Truex is stuck in the middle. Here we are.
Yeah, and that's the tough part.
Sure, you got 2 straight cup
titles.
titles. Again, it's so early in the season, so I can't say that things can't change late in the season. Like I said, I just made the mention about Chevrolet and their struggles in 18 with the Camaro, so
it's got good grip, but
I'm not saying that it can't happen,
right
but
there. And the way that corner kind of grabs you and rips you around that new asphalt, it puts everybody in a vulnerable position. So it's a tough spot to be in, but identical way that this race ended last year for Martin Truex.
Squeeze play off turn number 2 on the restart. Caution ensues. Damage to Blaney's car. We're under caution.
Yeah, Busher, I think, might be okay. I don't think he got that bad a hit.
Sadly, we can't have it all, except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips.
At Jersey Mike's, they slice your sub right in front of you. All that meat and cheese just for me. Watching that takes me to my happy place. Oh, wait. Jersey Mike's is my happy place. Kelly, did I place an order here in my happy place?
Not yet, Danny.
Then I'm going back to reality.
Number 7 for Danny?
Oh, thanks, reality, Kelly. Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
No, the 19 didn't wall the 12.
Show me what?
Byron pushed up, and
They helped us find
Truex trying to get out of it, and he squeezed the 2 of them together.
You did not.
I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I mean, Byron moved up. And Blaney came down as well, but it was Truex getting squeezed that caused the incident.
Get 20% off store-wide for Mother's Day.
I mean, yes, you can't run 3 wide at Darlington. That's not going to work in the first place, but
With the shut the front door handle, also known as the Seriously Wrong handle, and even the No Me Gusta handle. Standard on the all-new Toyota Tacoma.
Pretty girls walk like
you got to keep in mind too, we're only 30 laps into stage 2. It's not like we're, it's not like we're 10 to go in the race. So you could say it was a little over aggressive, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I'm not saying there was any ill intent there. I mean, it was race and deal. He got a run, he made a move. It's just, you're going to put blame on the incident. The blame on the incident goes to Byron for making it 3 wide. Obviously, no intent there. I'm not going to sit here and bitch at Byron. I mean, he made a racing move. It's just, that's what caused the incident.
FS1. They supply our aerial coverage. Goodyear powers every lap, every mile, and every victory on the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven.
Doubt we'll see any takers pit road here, though.
Well, Michael, a little bit interesting today. The tires have looked great coming off of the race cars, but I want you to take a look at these ones right here. This would be the right front, right rear, left rear. The left rear tires are actually what is wearing the most on these cars today. We don't oftentimes see that. That's interesting. Big part of why we're hearing all this talk about loose and losing rear grip. But as a driver, that is a great thing. And these are Brad Keselowski's tires that came off his car a stop ago.
Thanks, Regan. This caution, a good break for two drivers that took the wave around on the stage break. Derek Kraus, or on the last caution, Derek Kraus and Daniel Hemrick. They pitted this caution, and they're on the lead lap. So too now is Ryan Preece, who gets the free pass on this.
We had a 3 wide 1 and 2 8MG that tore up Blaney, and Truex has got some damage, and
yeah, that one's
Buescher
in
got
tough shape
slight
right there,
contact.
that
I think
big
Buescher's okay, but
Riding with Martin.
You hear him check out of it. That's what, Kevin, you were alluding to.
and Truex tried to get out of it too.
Day late and a dollar short. He got squeezed.
He knew he was screwed. Tried the best he could to get out of it.
And Blaney on that outside.
Couldn't get out of it.
That got damaged. That Larson's car's tore up a little bit. He lost a couple positions.
Larson and Bubba made a little bit of contact going through the incident.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing you don't want to happen. You don't want that nose damage. You don't want that nose to get separated from the splitter.
I wonder why my connection's struggling.
For the garage, they have exceeded the time allotted under NASCAR's damaged vehicle policy to make repairs. So,
I think he's going to show his displeasure right here.
Oh yeah, he took a little. Didn't hit him, but he took a little move at him.
And he's obviously frustrated, and that's definitely not the way that you want to end your day. But those guys have had a little bit of a frustrating season.
It's a little bit. I understand him being pissed, but
having one of his better
I understand him being pissed, but he thought better of at least actually hitting him.
Yep, they're going to wave the green. The front row is the same on the restart. Reddick and Keselowski. Here we go.
All right. We reckon let's do it again. Just not quite halfway in the stage.
Else's fortune. Look at that Logano, Bubba Wallace up there.
Yep. We switched one Penske car for the other.
Boy, Reddick's had great fire-off speed all day. He just launches out ahead of the field.
Well, and that's what you want. You want to be able to control the race.
Trying to see if we can
get
Ty here.
Control it off pit road, on the restarts, into turn one, pick the lane, and it's all working that way for Tyler Reddick right now. So everything he can do to not make any mistakes and
good
keep
battle
control
for second.
of the race just gives his odds just keep going up every lap.
Wallace Logano for 6th on your left.
See Joey Logano right there. Those guys have struggled this year.
Still a good battle for
to find the
6th.
speed and do the things that they're used to doing. And today is a day that they've run better than they have in the past. Bubba Wallace right there, he was racing with. They made a great pit call earlier, gained themselves some track position, didn't get in that last wreck, and find themselves running 7th right now.
Keselowski slips up. Here comes Byron. Comes right to the back bumper of Keselowski. Front 5, single file, side by side for 6th.
Next Sunday,
Byron way up high.
All-Star weekend.
Terry, could you imagine what the conversations would have been after these races if these guys would have raced your generation of guys in the corner, off the corner, and
This is a swarm back here. Bell, Chastain, Dillon,
they raced
Bowman.
back then, but it was kind of like, man, you can't go through here too wide very fast, and so.
Let alone 3 wide.
I was going to say, how about 3 wide?
Yeah,
Also,
that's sure
new arrival in the top 10, Josh Berry 10th. Briscoe's teammate just behind him.
Up as he drops underneath Bubba Wallace. Hamlin has led 16 consecutive races, and he's led the last 8 at Darlington, but struggling today, has not yet led a lap.
Well, we heard him talking about a little bit of hood damage, and it looks like the hood is slightly separated from those.
Fisher slid a little bit there going by Bubba.
A couple weeks ago, get that nose damage at Dover, and we thought that he was going to struggle a lot more than he did at Dover, and it didn't seem to affect him. But doesn't look terrible, Clint. You're closer to the monitor. I can't see
Reddick,
well.
Gibbs, Keselowski, Larson, Byron, the top 5.
At the end of the day, it doesn't seem to be bothering him much. The car's got plenty of speed. He needed some help anyway. Maybe a little bit of damage will help it.
And Chris Buescher's car seems not much the worse for wear. He's holding in 8th place.
Yeah, well, there goes our day.
And here's
still gonna have the hat on, but
talking about that crash at lap 129.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like ahead in that spot, so I'm sure if you're in the other seat, you'd be the other way. So I don't think he definitely didn't touch up because runs up out of you run out of room, you know. So he shoved up a little bit too. So yeah, I hate it. I feel like they were pretty far back on my door, so.
Well, when you're on the bottom of the racetrack like that, and you have more control of being in a good spot than the guys out on the outside, so it puts those guys in a spot on the outside of you to make a decision. And when William kept his car there, every inch that they inched further into turn 2, it put those guys in a worse and worse spot.
He could have been a bad spot, but they could have lifted.
Hey, that's right. Let's check on 4th place, Jamie.
And involved in that incident you guys were just talking about was the 5. He got into the 23 of Bubba Wallace. He was a little concerned about it, but after the team looked at the binoculars, Cliff Daniels said there's no damage that we're worried about. They said, this is going to be the longest run. Let's just stay smooth, keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, we saw at the end of the last run, Clint, the 5 car was really, really good up in that high line, making time. I mean, I know that's normal Kyle Larson talk, but it really paid more effect the later we got into the run.
He was entering higher, right? Everybody runs high here, but his entry to the corner was definitely a little bit higher. And when we say higher, I mean, Terry, you know, higher means 4 inches, right? Just a little bit higher with his entry, enabling him to turn back down on the hill, make that straightaway longer, put the power down a little bit sooner than the rest.
Riding here with Stenhouse, who is 1 lap in arrears and in some pretty heavy traffic there with Nemechek. All right, let's go to 7th place and Denny Hamlin. And Terry, I'm sure radio communication is a lot different from what it was back in the day. Listen to Chris Gabehart coaching his driver, Denny Hamlin.
I'll tell you right now, the two are still surprised by the struggles of the 9 team today. They were as high as 18th that I saw, and they just dropped back to 21st. Gregson, meanwhile, up to 15th, who they've kind of been. You got to back out of the race center. Because I've had that happen to me. It pops at the race center first. You got to back out of that to go select the division. Flip it over to Xfinity and then grab results from there.
You know, this looks like a pretty tough car, and the engine failures, you just don't see them anymore. You know, it's very rare you see an engine failure, so things are a little different.
Yeah, in today's world, we run multiple races, usually 2-3 races with these engines per the rule.
Right.
40 laps to go in stage 2 at Darlington. Tyler Reddick in front of Ty Gibbs by 1.5. Brad Keselowski 3 back. Kyle Larson 4 and William Byron 5.
At Jersey Mike's, they slice your sub right in front of you. Watching that always takes me to my happy place. Wait a minute. Jersey Mike's is my happy place. Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
We want to take the shortcut. And not be in danger.
Yeah, I know. I've got the mobile app too.
Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips.
Before my doctor and I chose Breztri for my COPD, I had bad days. Flare-ups.
If you want to get out of it, you got to get out of the race hub menu and click the division.
Breztri gave me better breathing. Starting within 5 minutes, I noticed my lung function improved. It helped improve my symptoms. And Breztri was
it's gonna pull up the race hub first. So you got to back out of that, back to the home page, and then have it click division from there. I do that because I use that when I check the qualifying and practice results for Cup while the Xfinity race is going on.
Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain.
Ross isn't that bad. He's 12th right now.
AstraZeneca may be a
So I wouldn't say Ross is in that bad a shape right now. Long way to go still. I mean, we're still just past halfway to stage 2, so.
Well, they helped us find the perfect.
Kevin.
I'm more concerned with Elliott because the highest we've seen him today is 18th, and he's back to 21st. So that's, I'd be more concerned for Elliott than I would Ross.
Kevin, I love it.
Get 20% off store-wide for Mother's Day.
Yeah, Kyle's another
Only
one.
at Jared.
It's kind of not running great right now. But in Kyle's defense, though, too, he did get into the wall earlier today, so that may have also exacerbated the issue.
We all know what happens on that side of the fence, the business end. But it's on the other side what I'm all about. And man, have I found what I think is a tailgate king. What's your name, buddy? You. As in Hefner. As in Hefner, obviously. And you see why I picked this natural selection. There's still one left, Kevin Harvick. There's still one left. Who is that guy?
That's my son-in-law, Robert.
There's always one, isn't there? Is he already drinking?
Probably.
That's what Tailgate Kings is all about, buddy.
Absolutely.
I told you he started too early.
Yep, absolutely.
I do like them highlighting that. The fans in the infield.
These guys get after it. A lot of fun right there. And look how close they are. I mean, that garage area was 5 feet in front of them. So much fun. Beautiful weekend, Mother's Day weekend right here, Darlington Raceway.
Lap 62 of 95 in stage 2.
For those that are curious, let me see if I can
First forward is Kozlowski and third.
see if I can
First
pull it
Chevy is
up.
Byron. Excuse me,
I found
Larson
this
in
thing on
fourth
Twitter
ahead of
the other
Byron.
day, yesterday actually.
And right
Somebody
behind
had
them,
posted
in
where
sixth,
they
resurgent Joey
believe the
Logano.
fan bases are
Like a much needed good day for
at
Joey
this
Logano right now. I spoke to Paul Wolf
at this
before the
point in
race started.
time.
He said that they actually did a little backtracking, went back to a setup that they ran here last year instead of the stuff that they have been working on this year. Said we just needed to hit the reset button a little bit.
Post the
and
link in
figure
here.
some
I
things out.
hope
So
a
far,
Nightbot
that appears
won't
to be working. The work
pull it away, but
just a little bit on the tight side. But
it
they are gaining
was
on it. He likes the direction they're going with the
where they ranked where the current fan bases are for each driver.
Now Denny Hamlin in seventh has not
And
led
I
today.
agree with where my standing is, but
Josh
I was curious to
Berry,
see
great
where everybody
throwback
else
scheme on
thought.
Berry's car. Rodney Childers, his crew chief, drove a late model to a bunch of wins in that exact graphic scheme, and they surprised Rodney with it at the Stewart Haas shops.
Well, I like this day for Josh Berry with the circumstances of the race and taking care of your car and managing your tires.
Yeah,
and,
they're running P8.
That's very late model stock Cars Tour type of race that Josh Berry can manage everything. And you see
Look at young
in
Rodney.
victory lane here with this car that they're replicating today.
So you're
Probably
saying
came in. Go ahead.
You're saying this is very Berry.
Very Berry.
Probably
Very,
came here
very.
with pretty good,
Thanks,
standard
Mike.
baseline setup that Kevin gave you. You had a good run here last year.
We did, yeah. We ran well at this race last year. I think we finished second. Had the last one won and got a penalty.
Chris Buescher started third. Currently ninth. He was involved in one of those dust-ups. You see the damage there on the right front corner of his car from that skirmish at lap 129.
Got the hood pushed up as well.
Right behind him, Bubba Wallace. Rounding out the
Jones
top
on
10.
his return from his injury
Also
is
part
running
of that
P20
at
for anybody
lap
that's interested.
129.
Curious to know where Jones
And
is.
behind him in 11th, the Briscoe brothers sprint car scheme for Chase Briscoe. Here's Regan.
Mike, it's been a good steady day for Chase Briscoe so far. The biggest issue, though, for Chase is the fact that his car falls out of the track more than other guys around him. Said he just feels like as the run goes on, he doesn't have as much to lean on as other guys do as he's trying to save it. So because of that, crew chief Richard Boswell,
Not really, not anything of note the first stage, King. The action really has been in stage 2. We had the 3 wide that went wrong in turn 2. The casualty of that being Blaney, to my chagrin, but
I talked to the team before the race today. They said if we were a little tighter yesterday and practicing,
Larson won stage 1.
would have been better. The car wasn't bad. Well, the bad news is he's too tight, and that has been the story since the drop of the green flag. Just fighting it back there. Would love to be freed up just a little bit, Mike.
Thanks, Jamie. Todd Gilliland back in 13th.
Great run for him so far. It's been impressive this year with that car.
And there's his scheme for this weekend. That was his 2015 Cars late model when he got his first win in that series.
Well, in this stage, he's been rowdy. Reddick fires off good, but he doesn't seem to have as good a long run car as some of the other guys that are up there.
Motorsports next year, and those guys have put together a decent day today. Got his Long John Silver's throwback scheme there.
Yeah, there's the old pirate up on the sign and on the hood. I don't know what year that's from, but they only had black and white menus.
How about Noah Gregson? All the way up to 15.
You see, I think that's the debate that needs to be discussed, is what makes better throwbacks? Throwbacks to old cars? Or when companies decide to throw back to like their old logos and stuff.
I mean, I was just mad I ended up in the fence and wrecked, and he shoved it 3 wide under us and just got tight off of 2, and I got tagged and ended up getting wrecked. And
For those that missed it, this is what put Blaney out.
You know, so yeah, he used up a little more racetrack than I thought, so gotta have every right to be mad. So, and he gets away scot-free. So just unfortunate. I thought we got pretty.
Yeah,
good.
the only other DNF we've had this year was the 500.
Really made good ground up in the first stage, had a good pit stop, and made tag Menard's Ford Mustang. I thought was like we had something to work with, and I was excited to start the second half of the race. And just
He was running. He managed to get into the top 10 after playing that flip strategy at pit and late. And we were running top 10 when that happened, so. Yeah, Truex tried to get out of it. As soon as he knew he was in the situation he tried to get out of it. Just he couldn't get out of it at the time. Battle for the lead. Ty's caught Reddick. Zane's around, yells out.
For the 4th time, and Smith turns it around. Down on the apron, everybody else gets by on the high side. Lap 164, caution flag number 4.
He just said that he was frustrated that Byron stuck at 3 wide and was the one that escaped out of it scot-free, you know.
Dave Marcus, K&K Insurance from Nord Krauskopf paint scheme. Marcus got his first win in the Old Dominion 500 to Martinsville in 1975 with that paint scheme on that.
I like that car. The old Charger. It was the late 70s.
Beautiful car.
Excuse me, early 70s Charger. My dad really likes those cars. The
K&K's still around. They still insure a lot of racetracks around the country.
Like 72, 73 Chargers.
A few dollars through the years.
Right.
I'm sure you guys have as well.
Free pass will go to Harrison Burton.
Pit crew's working out. Look like they're getting ready to make stops here.
AMR safety team quickly on the scene there for Smith.
Well, this will be interesting. This is going to be a short run here. You're going to have to obviously put tires on, but we've seen how aggressive these guys have started to be on the restarts, and now you're going to have to be super aggressive, and you can be super aggressive because you don't have to go 40, 50 laps on a set of tires. So this is when you could get yourself in trouble. Let's see what happens.
See him get loose back there all by himself, guys. Trying to stay out of the wall, spun around, gets into the inside wall. Caution.
Yep.
Easy to do here.
Yeah, and that exit of turn 4 with where he was all the way up against the wall, if you follow that arc of the rubber, obviously we learned yesterday, Clint, don't follow the arc of the wall because it's not in line with the arc of the race line. But if it gets loose through that section where it gets away from the wall and you separate yourself from the wall, and that's why we've seen a lot of the Kyle Larson line really work with that high entry, get to the late center and straighten that exit out. But when you try to follow that arc of the corner, sometimes the back of that car just will turn you around.
Now they first looked at.
Yeah, I already said that, Wolf. Reddick's car is good short run. I don't think he's got as good a long run car as Gibbs and
yeah, and this is just one of those situations where you might not just listen to the driver because it gets down on those. We saw this at Dover a few weeks ago. Gets down on those rub blocks and then it won't go anywhere. But We've got at least 2 flat tires on the right side, but it's going to be sitting on the rub blocks.
Well, but he won't be in front of that pit road, and pit road will be open this time. They're coming.
You see, it's not going to go anywhere with that right rear tire flat
just
on the rub blocks like that.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Car's tore up pretty bad. You can see it buckled on the left front.
You know, during that last green run, Justin Haley really made up a bunch of spots. Last caution, up 9 positions since the restart. He pitted at lap 130. He is currently in 17th. So a nice run there for Haley.
That would not be the first time that that's happened. Remember Casey drove a year for Red Bull before he went to Hendrick? Wouldn't be the first time we've seen a driver in a ride for 1 year before moving rides.
Meanwhile, the 5 of Kyle Larson, he wasn't really focused on tire management there. Be happy to get a fresh set here. A little bit tight, but overall good on the long run, Regan.
Daniel Hemrick
Like the balance better this run than the prior.
spent 1 year in the 8 car.
Felt like he had more takeoff speed at stayed
So-
with him longer. They are going to make an air pressure adjustment for this short run that's expected. And Tyler Reddick in the 45 car lost more rear grip than front grip.
Like I said, I'm not saying it could be happening because we've seen it done before.
Boy, there's your race off pit road. That's close. But Reddick gives Keselowski.
So a driver going to a ride for a year and then switching teams, it's been done before. So
there they are at the line. Whew, that's close.
Good thing he had that first stall.
bad thing about that port is I thought Ware was aligned with one of the other 4 teams, not with Roush. I might be wrong on that. Somebody had to double check that for me, but I could have sworn that Ware was not aligned with Roush.
There's an easier way.
Unless that changed this year.
From repairs and cleaning to remodeling and more, Thumbtack makes it easy to care for your home. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
Every Saturday, your game is on Fox. Because here, we got the swag, the scoops, the smiles, the steals. We got the slides, the kicks, the shows.
It is Roush, okay.
Because Saturdays on Fox.
Then yeah, I could see that.
No big deal.
I don't know if I don't think Brad wants to go to 3 cars though.
I chose Brad Street for my COPD.
I think your smart move is to stay 2. Going to 3 cars, I don't think is the right move unless you're Hendrick or Gibbs. I think your move is to stay with 2. 3 cars and 1 always tends to struggle.
It helped improve my symptoms, and Breztree was even proven to reduce flare-ups, including those that could send me to the hospital. So now I look forward to more good days.
Breztree won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems.
You're right, Nate.
It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition.
Reddick moved early to 23XI.
Don't take Breztree more than
from what he was supposed to.
Breztree may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes,
Yeah,
or eye
but
pain occur. Can't afford your medication?
I don't know if I would wait. I would sit on moving to a 3rd car though. I would sit before moving to a 3rd car. Blaney's not leaving Penske. Not after winning the title last year. I don't see him moving from Penske. Joey Logano's pretty much Cup success has come with Penske, so now you know Logano's not moving. If any one of those 3, it'd be Cindric, but Cindric obviously has sponsorship with him, so Casey Mears ain't coming back to Cup. I know that's a joke because Casey Mears ain't coming back to Cup.
1 to go at Darlington.
Dave's not coming back.
Tyler Reddick,
I think he's pretty much done.
They had almost a miscue on
just
pit
run a
road that
part-time.
would have cost him the lead. Watch the front tire changer here, completing his job on the right front. And then coming around
Yep,
the
air hose caught.
there on the wheel opening. Regan.
Mike Front takes Houston Stamper with a great move to catch that air hose. How quick do you have to react in that situation?
Yeah, Tim Cindric.
Honestly, it's one of those.
There goes my sound for the broadcast. Don't know what happened to Fox's sound, but we lost the audio. Way to go, Fox. Or I should say, way to go, app. Completely lost sound. Well, Fox wouldn't be the only one that's happened with. I've had that happen with me with with NBC as well, where I've lost the audio. So, wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't even be the first app. Right, 16 to go in the stage. I'll try that. I may try to restart the app at the end of the stage and see if we can get the audio back. Sucks to have the audio gone, but you know, don't know what happened. Yeah, my window's open. Ooh, Brad's after the lead though. Where did Logano come from? Logano shot out of a cannon up to fourth. Brad looks like he's gonna hang out a second. He did get around Gibbs, so he now has second. Yeah, they made a little bit of contact. No, Larson won stage one. Matt. Reddick still with position. Let's see how they come here with the final 13 laps of the stage. Yeah, you're hoping your Logano bets finally pay off, right, Hamill? Mr. Rod's running pretty decent right now. 11th, 12th, 13th. 3 of the 4 cars. Yeah, I know. I've got it on my radio behind me. I make sure I put it on for race day. I'll put it on behind me, so in case something like this does happen, you know. I'll try resetting the app after this and see maybe if it's an app issue or if it's that they actually completely lost sound. But you guys can hear me, right? I'm making sure it's not a sound issue on my end. If you can hear me, then I know that it's an issue on the app. It's the app is out of sound for some reason. Okay, yeah, then it's the app then. Larson Byron, let's go switch spots. And you're only going to have it, hopefully, for another 10 laps, because I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to try to turn the app out and put it back up after the stage ends. See if we get it back. It's been chugging on me today, too. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to wait to the end of stage because I don't want to miss anything for the stage end. So that's why I'm not. That's why I'm not. How did Blaney crash? 3 wide gone wrong. I may not have no choice. The app may crash itself. All right, let's refire it back up again. Oops, shit. Come on. Thank you.
The United Football League
on Fox.
Oh yeah, I should have the like MRN tabbed.
Corner speed up. So Tyler Reddick, one of the best at it when it comes running that high line.
Did miss though.
Zane Smith checked and released at the infield care center after crashing at lap 164. He and Ryan Blaney, the only two cars.
I know he actually passed Bowman, Christian. That's the highest he's been today. 16th.
That's something that's new today's day and age. You ever imagine a day where we're shifting at Darlington?
No. I can remember the first time we shifted at Pocono, and NASCAR came and thought we had a 5-speed transmission or something. But we actually were one of the first teams to try shifting at Pocono. And
did it work that day? Were you on to something?
I don't know if it did or not. It didn't seem much faster to me. But.
Yeah. Well, I do recall you and Ricky Rudd being the best of the road racers in NASCAR in that era.
Yeah, that was back in the day when you had to know how to shift gears. You know, and you had.
This is the battle that actually is going on behind Elliott.
RPMs and things like that, or you turn the
Bowman, Cindric, LaJoy, and McDowell.
You know, you just jam it in gear now.
17th, 18th, 19th,
there are
20th.
Still days that every time I would get in this car,
21st Priest.
I would have to sit and think. Okay. Up, down.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I spent my whole life first, second, third, fourth in the H pattern, and to the last day that I drove this car, I had to think about how I shifted. It was such a mental shift in so many things, but the shifting was a difficult thing to manage.
You're not the only one, Kevin. I mean, we've seen it several times, especially when somebody's racing both, right? When they're running Xfinity
Chastain
Series
cracking
on
the top
Saturday,
10.
crossing that gate with the H pattern, and then, you know, move to the Cup Series with this transmission. But it's like a motorcycle, right? All the way up, all the way down.
Yeah, as we were on board right there, you could really see how much work Ryan Priest was doing inside that
Haley
car.
and Gilliland battling for 13th.
Justin Haley.
Up to 13th now.
Having a great day. We talk about him sporadically as we go throughout the season, but he does such a great job of managing his equipment.
That's Justin Haley, honestly.
The two most creative campaigns for the fan vote.
Justin Haley is basically carrying that 51 car.
I would say he and Carson Hocevar, the Vote for Pedro campaign, are probably leading the league in that, and they're both in the top 10 vote getters right now. Folks, still plenty of time for you to cast your vote for a driver not yet in the NASCAR All-Star race next week at North Wilkesboro.
One car we had just not seen today, Kevin, that I thought was really fast in practice is Christopher Bell. And he has been, he's 23rd right now, mired back in traffic, struggling on this racetrack after a good practice session. We both thought his speed was good.
He said it was going to work out for him. I honestly said when it happened, I didn't think it was going to work out for him, but
changed so much.
Clearly it has, at least so far.
Going on, and obviously they have missed it today, but this is definitely the worst that they've run today.
Well, all right. And then the other car that we were talking about him earlier in the day, but he is slowly but surely, with these cautions and the pit stops, making a better day out of this for themselves as Chase Elliott in the 9 car up to 16th.
Well, that's how they've been all year. But as you see, Kyle Busch bounce off Christopher Bell's door right there.
2 to go in the stage. Looks like Reddick's going to win this
stage. Job of
stage.
just grinding weekends out. He's been very quiet about it, but they've been fighting the last 6
about a second behind Reddick here.
For stage 2,
last lap, stage 2.
Keselowski by a second. Gibbs 1 3/4 back.
Definitely gonna have an interesting time for when I put up that final channel point prediction.
Reddick looking to win his 2nd stage of the season, and it would be his 1st stage win at Darlington. In that Tim Richmond Daytona Consolation race winning graphic scheme.
Tyler Reddick wins stage 2 at Darlington.
We'll get the 2nd stage win. Keselowski, Gibbs, Logano, Larson. The top 5, Byron Busch.
Reddick
Hamlin,
clearly
Wallace,
has the best
Chastain
short
gets
run
stage
car.
points. Terry Labonte, Hall of Famer.
But I really don't think he is the best overall car.
Part of Throwback Weekend.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Right now, you can get a free footlong at Subway. Just buy any footlong in the app and get 1 free. Like the Titan Turkey, piled high with fresh sliced turkey, or the Outlaw with juicy steak and melted pepper jack cheese. Just scan the QR code and enter promo code FLBOGO.
Oh, I'm all over this deal.
It only works on the other side of the screen, buddy.
Chuck, you still got a landline in your house.
Here, just take my free sub. Order now on the Subway app.
Waiting for the break of day. Wanting just to stay away.
Dad, show her. Show me what?
Well, they helped us find
Latter half top 10.
You did not.
Is latter half top 10.
Yeah, this is. Kevin, I love it.
Get 20%
Last one
off
is
store-wide
live.
for Mother's Day. Only at Sharon.
Also, apparently I'm up to 820 followers now for this channel. Good God. Good God. Appreciate the followers, but damn. Perfect trick.
Above it all. If so, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing. Breathing Claritin Clear is like...
Pretty girls walk like this. Pretty girls walk like this.
Is he?
Confidently walking 8 long-haired dogs and living as if he doesn't have allergies? Yeah.
I had hair like that once.
Hamlin has not led yet today.
On the Apple App Store or Android?
It's a very fun racetrack, a racetrack that this is one that I will tell you that I actually am a little disappointed that I'm not racing this week.
Oh, that's the first time he said that all year.
Be careful, you might get a phone call here before too long. Darlington, you didn't have to worry, at this point in the season,
Reddick
you
did,
knew if your car
David.
was good or bad. If your car was bad, going to Darlington, you still had a chance. Yeah.
The
Because
top
you could
two
make
in
a
the
difference
channel
with
point
the way that
prediction
you
are
drove
the
the
stage
car
winners.
and
Larson
kind of
won
some of
stage
your-
1, Reddick won
your
stage 2.
old characteristics of things that you were looking for in the car, and this is just one of those places that you could make a difference, a bigger difference than most other places.
Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour, new episode every Tuesday
Hey.
and Thursday, wherever you get
Hamill,
your
you're one of my
podcasts.
favorites, and I'm
Presented
glad you
by
hang
NASCAR
out
on
with me all the
Fox.
time.
Always a fun time here
You
in
know?
Darlington. It's definitely a racetrack that I have enjoyed through the years. Kind of a love-hate relationship. First several years, it kind of took a while to get going, but once we did, had a lot of success here. Had a lot of fun
Yeah,
driving.
up
Always
to
a
today,
challenge
he's
every
led
lap.
led in every race.
You know, I ran
Hamlin
well
has,
here, and just like we've been preaching about all weekend long, I couldn't finish. Then the last 50 laps, it would always unravel. I could run in the top 5, have great days going, literally telling myself, ride. Just ride right here. Came off at one time, come off at Ford. We caught a lapper, you and I shot over and hit the inside wall. I'll never forget that. I blew up here like 3 times. Over
Boyer,
here,
that was Kyle getting into Kevin into you. That was not a lap car you guys caught. That was not a lap car. He's talking about the 2011 race where Busch and Harvick got into it off of 4, and Boyer was the one that was the innocent victim in it.
Gosh darn lies, and then there are statistics.
Well, don't be doing any capping right here, Mike. No capping.
No stage 2 winner has yet to finish better than 25th at Darlington in this new generation car.
Wow.
That's the statistic. I think that's about to change.
That's an interesting stat.
Pretty sus.
No stage 2 winner in the 4 next-gen races has finished better than 25th.
Jamie.
Hopefully Reddick can change that. I mean,
Every single stop for the 54 He's been loose all day long. They've been adjusting. Now he's too tight. They're going to go back halfway on that air pressure adjustment, the 54. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson liked the adjustments they made last time. 4 tires
He wins the race off pit road this time. Perhaps one more stop. I think basically you're going to split this final stage in half, most likely.
That's causing him to get loose from the center to the exit in the 45. And Tyler Reddick is really
if we go green to the end, it'll be, I think, a one-stop race. Ooh, it's going to be close between Brad. I think Brad got it.
Well, it's not the yellow line. It's because the yellow line.
No, that's right. It's the white line.
That they measure to.
That's right. I forgot it's the white line.
Getting better with these pit stops. They're going to beat that 45 out of that.
Yeah, Brad's team keeps trying. I give him credit.
I think so.
Hear me
I
out.
ain't giving up on it.
And that's no cap.
That's no cap, Mike.
That's ridiculous.
And I'm surprised with the amount on Larson. Larson actually finished 5th in stage 2, so I'm surprised you guys are picking Larson.
But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know.
'Cause I wouldn't sleep on Logano. I wouldn't sleep on Byron right now.
I'm not wondering anymore. Love.
Nor would I sleep on Brad, who has kind of the better long-run car than Reddick.
Right now, you get a free foot.
I'm shocked that most of you guys are saying Larson.
And get 1 free. Like the Titan turkey, piled high with fresh sliced turkey.
Unfortunately, gapping, he is out of the race. 3 wide went wrong. He was the unfortunate victim on the outside of 3 wide, and yeah, killed the car.
Here, just take my free sub. Order now on the Subway app.
So you should go at least one more stop. You know, we go green, it's going to be one more stop. The question is going to come in if we start getting rash yellows.
Here in the Race Day Studios as we get you set for stage number 3. So Jamie, Tyler Reddick out front the majority of this race. But what about 2 guys who have been up
Ford
front
has yet to win a NASCAR point race
on
this
this
season.
110 race winless streak, but he's finished second twice this year, getting really close. Clint mentioned it. Their pit stops have been really good. If he can beat Reddick out of the pits, I think he's the contender. And Ty Gibbs has been incredible too in the top 3 of both of those stages. Can you imagine first win at the
Likely of an
hardest track
overtime,
in
that's
NASCAR,
true.
Brad Keselowski trying to
But I'm saying if it goes green to the end, it's a one-stop race as far as fuel. The debate comes in whether we get a rash of yellows. What do you do?
Thanks, Shannon.
That's where the debate comes in.
Getting set for stage 3 here in Darlington. Time for our Credit One Bank ones to watch. Tyler Reddick started in the pole. He has dominated. So who else are we looking at? Clint.
It's been 110 races, guys, since this man has last been in victory lane. You can't keep a good man down. 5 times a runner-up. The 6th car is going to get it done today at Darlington.
Well, I like the guy who won this race last year, and that's William Byron. I think that this is
I made a comment
races as we get to the end that could be a race that you have to grind out. And
that
do a good job at that.
I think
Joey Logano has just kept coming and
I think it's the Ford is paying for Blaney winning those close Dega races.
Toward the front.
I see what you did there, 43. I see what you did there.
Are your Credit One Bank ones to watch?
2 tires ain't gonna work here, Alpha. Not here. Depends on how long they're on the tires for. But 2 tires, I don't think it's gonna be the call here.
Testing that back out, boys.
New seat angle, number of changes he's made.
Well, he's learning a lot about his seat today because this racetrack is rough, and I think it's you know, it's definitely challenging to sit in a new position and make that the new norm. So he's definitely going to have some notes and feedback that he has to give the team when they go back, and if they did a great job, maybe not.
And this just in from the stats department. Don't count
I agree, Gripping. I'm not too worried about. That's why I'm not worried about Ford being winless right now, because
he did not lead a single lap till after halfway.
And we all know after halfway in these races, it takes one caution and all hell breaks loose. It's happened last week.
We'll see.
It's happened the week before that. It happens all the time with this cup.
Stage 3 from Darlington.
Restarts get chaotic. One caution upsets the apple cart.
All right, on the last restart, Brad Keselowski went into turn 1 right even with Tyler Reddick. Looked like he might have had a chance to steal the lead. It didn't happen.
Yeah, well, watch these guys when they come down the straightaway this time. They're both going to try to be, they want to get the guy up the straightaway or down the straightaway, so they kind of met in the middle last time, and Brad did a great job of keeping himself.
Does anybody actually try to squeeze the 3 wide here? 100 to go.
Just one lap down. Everybody else is on the lead lap with Smith and Blaney in the garage. Here they come for stage 3.
100 to go.
Green flag.
34 cars on the lead lap. We are back underway at Darlington. I believe that's what they were saying. 34 cars on the racetrack for sure. Larson's gonna force it.
Yeah, and you see Brad
almost 3, but they got out of it. Brad's not. Oh, here comes Byron. 3 into 3. Larson sends it a little bit. Brad's gonna try to come back on the top though. Oh, he squeezed and he made it past Larson.
Yeah, I really thought he
wow.
Had to at least try to make him go the opposite
Brad
direction,
with a move.
But he decided to give him a lane, and Brad drove.
Really going to take advantage of it. 0.6 of a second.
Larson 3rd, Byron 4th, Pierce 5th.
Hamlin, Logano for 5th.
Logano and Hamlin.
Almost 3 back there. Gibbs.
Busher down to the inside of Bubba Wallace.
Gibbs, Bubba, and Busher. Very into that fight. Busher trying to clear, not quite.
You hear him throttle up to get in that position.
Are they able to clear him?
Got away with it that time.
Yes, he did, but that's putting yourself in a pretty vulnerable spot.
Another 3 wide.
They slide and slip up.
Gregson trying to get 2 for 1.
They were 3 wide behind them with Noah Gregson going to the bottom, trying to pick up 2 spots.
Gillen
right
in the middle, slides.
He does, but wow.
He had to be super aggressive right there.
Cindric going to try to take advantage of the momentum.
If he didn't make that pass, he was.
Logano and Byron going to battle for 4th.
I think his teammate Briscoe cut him a little slack there as William Byron takes 4th.
And is racing all over. Oh! Bowman into the back of
that may have given the 40
Haley a little
some
bit.
Damage on that right front fender right there.
Truex stuck 3 wide.
He hit that 51
again.
hard.
Yeah, Bowman got into Haley. Here's the Rebel on board for Kyle Busch. It has not been a Kyle Busch day. 21st place for the Rebel Bourbon car. Battling Eric Jones here.
Busher, Bubba, and Barry.
Place. Wallace and Busher. And let's go back to 26th place and check with Jamie.
Yeah, it hasn't been a Chase Elliott kind of day either. Actually, all weekend long. First off, in qualifying yesterday, Alan Gustafson, his crew chief, told me he just missed the line.
Probably got a little bit there. Busher might have gotten the wall a little bit.
And he did. He got all the way up to 15th, Mike, and then on the last stop, right rear issue, slow stop, got him all the way back in 31st, so he's trying to make his way forward again.
Wow. He's picked up 5 positions since the restart, Jim.
Man, huge setback for them. All the way to 15th, right back to 25th. Start your day over again. Ugh.
Well, and that'll happen when you have 33 cars on the lead lap this late in the race.
Definitely get racy.
On the lead lap, and you know, those guys were grinding out the day and slowly inching their way forward. It's a long ways to go again. with a lot less time.
But this is the longest of the 3 stages. The first was 90, the second was 95, and this is 108 laps for stage 3. As we have a look at today's Protecting the Lead, sponsored by Armor All. This has to be.
We'll see. We've seen Reddick do this
done a good job of protecting the lead
in the
today.
short run. The question is going to be if this run goes long.
The exit of pit road because he's done a good job right here.
What helped Reddick here was Larson diving under Brad. That's what helped him.
Pit stall has saved his pit crew a few times today.
I agree.
That allowed him to pull a little bit of gap on these guys when they were racing.
Emphasis on qualifying. That's why, again, Kevin, you said it.
Truex had damage too, Dodge. He damaged in that 3 wide incident earlier. So he's been trying to come back from that.
And it's cost him every exit of pit road.
He was top 10
I'll never
otherwise.
forget when I went to Stewart Haas Racing, and I used to tell Rodney Childers, I said, you know, I'm just not a good qualifier. He's like, well, we're going to change that trend because we can't qualify bad. And the race starts on what used to be Friday.
That's if we go green,
to try to put
pal.
yourself in the front of the pack, because if your car
You're assuming if we're assuming the run's going to go completely green.
If you fall off and you go to
Then the benefit is, yes, you want to be the one on the freshest tires
12th or 15th, then you're not
of
falling
everybody.
back as far. So qualifying
But
puts you in a good position to do a lot of
it's going to
things
depend
better.
too
Gives you a
on if the
cushion
run
for the
goes
start of the
green the
event.
whole way.
Well, Tyler Reddick started on the pole, and he has led 145 of the 203 laps so far here in Darlington.
Man, Fox on it with the cars tunes today.
About all the work that comes with parenting. Careful. But what about the fun? With Love Every, you'll experience the most fun and rewarding version of parenting. We hear it all the time from our customers. Children play with every single thing in their play kits over and over again. And we'll walk you through all the different ways that you can help your child learn through
Question mark?
When you design with intention,
I don't know where that gif is from or what it is, but question mark?
This is MasterChef Generations. I love the Gen Z approach to this dish.
Let's eat.
Which generation is going to win it all?
Don't say that, Corey. Don't say that. Not after what we saw last week.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Wendy's Orange Dreamsicle Frosty, this takes me back, man.
It's like taking a trip down memory lane.
I didn't know they sold dreamsicles on memory lane.
For the flavor that takes you
I mean, not to mention 2 of the 3 wins out of Busher last year were not on super speedways.
Dad, show her. Show me what?
Michigan and Richmond.
Well, they helped us find the perfect.
Kevin, you did not. This, I can't. This is. It's.
Use your words, Mom.
Oh. Kevin, I love it.
Get 20% off store-wide for Mother's Day, only at Jared.
Like that isn't fair. He can't fight back. He can't legally fight back against you.
Tear more, live more with Liquid IV.
I pitted you a little bit short. Everybody else came with. This will be a little bit longer run. Get us a good restart here and then settle empty smart. Got to pick them away one at a time. Denny, do you feel like in
Well, what I mean is, can you legally fight back against him, Hamill? If we were in Canada.
It stayed consistently tight the entire time. The air worked cleaner.
In the States, he couldn't.
It would be better. The splitter looks fine. There's one spot that maybe gaps a little bit. In my experience, this isn't terrible. Not ideal, but definitely not terrible. Right, correct.
Denny Hamlin currently in 6th place. 6.5 seconds off the lead. Joey Logano fifth. William
Reddick stretched it out, 3 seconds.
Brad Keselowski second, and Tyler Reddick.
One thing that you'll notice right here as these cars go through turns 3 and 4, you're going to see that shade start to creep in up next to the wall. And as that shade creeps in up next to the wall, that track, the track temp is going to start to go down. So that top lane is going to be
gains grip when that goes
gaining
down.
a little grip.
Yep.
See this shade right here? It also makes the depth perception of where that wall is start to
I think
change
so, but
the sun starts to get lower. You start to go from sun on the back straightaway to the shadow, and you know, it just becomes a little bit more difficult to judge that speed and not hit the wall.
Yeah, especially getting into 3. Drive right into it if you're not careful.
Plus, driving into 3, aren't you driving straight into the sun?
Yeah, well, you can kind of see how the glare has started to change, but as the sun gets lower, you know, that glare will get worse, and this is obviously a lot better than the windshield of the car.
I'm amazed at the
you can see that sun on his eyes, how it goes in and out. And
the lead that Reddick's pulled out. Yeah, they were racing back there for second, but he's got almost a
different types of light.
over a 3.5 second lead on Brad at the moment.
Me as I got older and started to put the glasses on, that helped that. But you know, you'll see as he goes down the back straightaway, when you look at his eyes there, you know, you really start to see the sun go in and out.
But watch the shadow of the Earnhardt Towers right there. See, right as you get into the wall, you're picking that shadow up as well. A lot of different things that are taking your concentration off of that wall, which is the focal point for sure.
Clint, would your mom like a Sunday crank it up on Mother's Day?
How about you, Mom? You want to crank it up for your Mother's Day? I love you. Love all you mothers out there, everything you do for us. Crank it up, baby.
No run.
I run, no run.
Inside the 20. Still even. Clear. Clear.
Over 4 seconds now. Good illustration of the gap. Bell just hasn't been anywhere today. I still believe so. Well, we'll see Sly. That's what I think. I want to see as this run goes, because it has been shown that Brad is better later into the run, but I'm just waiting for that plateau when it's going to flip, you know?
Copy. I just got to focus right here. So you make the call, I'll ride with you. Still good.
You start to gain a little time back.
5-1 on the 99.
Ooh!
Inside.
Suarez into the back of Stenhouse a little bit there.
75 laps to go in Darlington, South Carolina in the Goodyear 400. Tyler Reddick has led 161 of the 219 laps so far. Let's take you side by side.
Your best days of the year start here at Kubota Orange Days. It's the year's biggest selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the
lead is
USA.
starting to shrink just a little bit.
Best deals like 0% APR
Under
for
3
84
seconds
months, or
now.
up to $3,300 off select compact tractors. Orange goes all day. Sales ending soon. Visit your local dealer today. Find your nearest dealer at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
All the parts you need.
Again, the question is going to be the strategy play here. I think you just split it in half. You split it in half with the way this race is shaping up at this point. Split this in half and run what you got at the end.
Like pancakes served all day. And Southern fried chicken that's always hand-breaded. Oh, and family time. Or try our new early dinner deals.
Spring into savings this moving season with Pods. Save up to 25% now on
The
moving
Bush are
and
trying
storage,
to-
and see why Pods has been trusted with over 6
Hang on.
million moves. But don't wait. Save up to 25% now. Visit pods.com today.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd. And the
Wait a minute, the 17's not...
It's more than just the car.
17's an
It's
8,
all about the
Tristan.
party. Country music's hottest new star.
He's battling Barry right
Big
now.
and Rich with Gretchen Wilson,
He's nowhere near the
Brittany Spencer,
45.
Tim Duggar, T-Pain, and Ludacris cranking the party into
I was just going to say, what do you mean? That's not the 17 that's near
Access to the
Reddick.
Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to www.raceway.com now.
Every Saturday, your game is on Fox.
Because here, we got the guy that swings harder, the guy that runs faster, hits further.
And it's not Chastain either, because the first car off the lead lap
The scoops, the smiles,
is back in, Chastain off the wall.
the threads, the wheels. We got the slides, the kicks, the shuffles.
Would be Hemrick, would be the next one that's near the leader.
Saturdays on Fox, we got you. No big deal.
.69 laps to go. Larry told us if you were splitting this stage in thirds, you'd come now, and that is what Kyle Busch has done. You got
Busch
ways
trying
to go.
to
You're
the
just
3-stop
gonna make one
stage.
stop in this stage.
2 stops, basically.
Kyle Busch was 21st when he made his stop.
Oh, battle for the lead.
Well, the lead's getting tight.
Brad's caught Reddick.
Underneath the 45 right there on the bottom.
I don't know how he caught him so fast, but he caught him.
And that makes it difficult, and we really get to see
Shit.
whose car is actually handling better once you get the traffic.
But we got lap cars side by side, so Nemechek and Hemrick.
These guys are racing for position. They're not going to just yield this position to Reddick. He's going to have to earn it. And here
Ooh,
comes
Brad took a move there on the bottom.
Careful. He's going to get it.
Got him. Brad to the lead. Lead change.
Brad Keselowski for the second time today.
Well, the thing that happened right there was Keselowski had clean air in front of him, and Reddick was behind that lap car.
Pinned him behind the lap car.
Was able to drive by and clear him.
Christopher Bell has come to pit
Nice
road
move, Brad.
on that 2-stop strategy.
If anybody else is going to try this 2-stop strategy, had a couple takers. I heard Brad, Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Bell.
Chase Elliott is in, so is Martin Truex. Scheduled green flag stops. And they
Truex.
are joined by Ross Chastain.
Well, it seems like scheduled for some, maybe not all.
Right.
And
Yep.
this is when it
Did
starts
different
to get interesting
strategies.
as to what the right strategy is, and we see more cars start to peel off onto pit road. But let's hear what they're saying on the strategy on the radio.
65 to go. I don't know who that was, but okay.
That's exactly what's happening too. You're seeing the 2 stops. The guys are going to try 2 stops. They're already been on pit road. These guys, the other guys.
Is that Tyler? I think that was Tyler's radio. I think that was Reddick's radio. I don't know if it was, but that made me think it was Reddick with the cars that was around him and all that.
Well, but most of the leaders, let's say the first 27 cars, are still on the racetrack.
Comes Busher down pit road.
Busher's going to come in. I think we got another 10 laps before the ones that are going to try to do it on one stop.
2 stops or 3 today? What would be your choice?
Well, it looks like to me most of the leaders have elected to go to just doing basically splitting it there into half. So what I'm looking at, Mike, I just had told Clint somewhere around lap 235, 238. Come a little bit early. I see Ty Gibbs in the 54 hitting pit road right now, so I think we're starting to see him hit just a little bit early.
Gibbs might be the first of those trying to make it on the split bit.
Keep an eye on these leaders, guys.
See what the rest of the leaders do here.
Got 5 more laps. Get to Larry's number.
Yep.
I think
so about another 5 more laps.
Split this in half. Brad is driving off from Reddick. Keselowski, that is.
Well, we talked about Brad's car earlier being a little bit better than Reddick's from a handling standpoint, but Reddick has had the track position. As soon as they caught those lap cars side by side, Brad closed the gap, passed him, and has drove off.
Reddick had 1 pit stop today on which he was a second slower than the cars that he's been racing.
Actually, you guys are talking about Gillen. Look who's in the top 10.
Well, Kevin was just
2 of the Stuart Haas cars are in the top 10. The 4 and the 14.
The back of the field. He just has
7th and 8th.
With the rear of his race car, it's sliding around all over the place. That is his issue right now, and that has been the issue for the majority of the day for the 45.
Well, that's what we talked about on practice day. You got to be able to figure out what your car can do besides being in the preferred line. And if you're just running the same line as everybody else and you aren't maneuverable to be able to manipulate the traffic,
he's just not been running well today.
You just gain or
you lose too much time and allows he did pit, but those guys trying to do it on a 2-stop strategy instead of the 1.
Just like,
but he just hasn't been running good today either.
How about Kaz Gralla in that Parnelli Jones Trans Am Mustang scheme from 1969? That's a cool one. And Rick Ware, the team owner, his dad raced against Parnelli at Riverside, California in the 1970 Trans Am. So that's a very, very cool and appropriate throwback. That's my favorite. I admit, Team Hendrick, they did the best job of everybody. But personally, that's my favorite.
That's a good-looking car, Mike.
Vic Eldebrock had something to do with that car too, right?
Yeah, he owned it long after Bud Moore had it and raced it in historic Trans Am. And boy, Vic was quite a wheelman and a great guy. The Edelbrock family.
There's a trivia nugget for you. Parnelli Jones
has now led more laps today than in the entire 2024 season.
110 races, boys. He's hungry. He's hungry in his 6 car.
And that's not a lot of laps. This is lap 11. And like we talked earlier, those guys have all of a sudden showed up with speed.
Brad's had 5 second-place finishes since his last Cup victory.
Whoa, careful. Look at those tires coming. See Eric Jones on the... Oh! Larson's got trouble. Did he have a flat or just get rubber on his tires?
No.
It got too high?
I think he got too high. He got too high right there.
All right, let's see if that draws the rest of them in.
So Kyle Larson was running 3rd, and Cliff Daniels and crew scramble to get ready to go to work.
Didn't take long right there. Jumped up a little bit too high, got in the rubber.
Jamie.
Yeah, and Kyle Larson quite a while ago said, I'm just too loose. They told him, hang on to it, hang on to it. Got into the wall there. They reacted quickly. A 4-tire stop here. A lot of damage on the right side. Cliff Daniels taking a hard look.
I didn't expect a yellow port because I didn't expect a yellow because that's Darlington Stripe.
That was within their pit window.
The Darlington Stripe, you know.
Second place on pit road. Here they come.
Leaders.
Todd Gilliland's in as well.
And Joey got it. Ty Gibbs.
Get together.
Well, these cars have just become a handful, and as soon as you try to take too much, you wind up getting bit. Regan?
Well, Kevin, about 30 laps into this run, crew chief Billy Scott told Tyler Reddick we are going to change our plans. Originally, sounds like they were going to two-stop it, one stop instead. The
Brad is in. Ooh, hopefully they weren't speeding coming on. Smoked him coming to pit road, but hopefully they weren't speeding.
Well, when that second place car Reddick pits, you got to pit next time by. That's exactly what they did.
Noah Gregson comes with him.
I mean, it looked close. Nothing been said yet, but.
Regan.
Brad Keselowski in the 6 car we mentioned earlier.
Definitely smoked him.
That they worked on that car to make it better on the long runs after practice yesterday.
Joey
Still
in.
seems to be working. Brad has been quiet on the radio this time, very happy with it.
The rest of the stop looked good. It's just going to be a matter of Byron and Hamill have yet to pit. There's McDowell. Brad would be the first one off if it cycles here. And when it cycles, Brad will be the leader.
Underneath the 3 of Austin Dillon there.
We're starting to hear a lot of loose, guys. A lot of loose. Here comes Byron.
Byron's in.
McDowell to pit road. Corey LaJoy is in. This should bring the rest of the field here.
Looks like we're okay with Brad.
And now Byron to pit road. Emmerich stops. Byron right at the start-finish line.
Did Gibbs pit already though?
Jamie.
I don't know if he pitted. I didn't see it.
Back to Jeff Gordon, just led his first laps of the day. He was extremely loose. Rudy Fugle said just hang on.
Okay. Then yeah, the Gibbs is the provisional leader at the moment. Gibbs would be the provisional leader, but Brad is all over his back bumper now. So.
And the leader becomes Barney Fife, or is it Buford T. Justice? It is Carson Hocevar.
Here's your leader right here, unless the caution comes out, but there's the leader.
Yeah.
All right.
Brad easily going to go around Gibbs here.
Before Brad Keselowski, there comes the pass for back what will be the lead.
So it's just Hocevar and Suarez that have yet to hit pit road.
Keselowski pitting right after that Reddick pulled in, drew them in. Did a good job so far. Everything's.
And that should be it for Brad pitting.
Well, it may be a while before
if we go green to the end, the only one. There's some guys that are going to try to pit again, like Chase Elliott, Derek Kraus, Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell.
Well, right now you don't want to.
All those guys are going to have to pit again with the time, with what they're planning on.
Strategies, if it's not, but these guys racing. Catching lap traffic, and Brad wants to put all the distance that he can in case.
Hocevar is currently the leader.
To a different strategy.
And Suarez are the only two that have yet to pit in this run. Hocevar is going to come this time.
Michigan State Trooper has. And it's National Police Week. That's what they're celebrating on Carson Hocevar.
Bubblegum cops, as we call them here in the state of Michigan, the state troopers. Blue car with a little red cherry top. Gumdrop cop. My
yeah, I'm looking at
brother-in-law is a Michigan State trooper.
Laps earlier, but he pitted with 63 laps to go.
My sister's husband's brother.
Gale, the crew chief, was banking on more
I think that's right. I think I'm saying that monocle right.
I just don't know about running 63.
Yeah, of course you would, Port.
I'm not sure that's going to work.
Anybody from Michigan could get that reference.
Well, they must be counting on a caution.
Well, and
no, they're split. They should be split the stage in half, Tristan. They split it in half. They kind of worded it wrong as far as the broadcast, but it was the idea of either doing 2 stops or doing 1. And then you split the stage in half, which is what Brad, Larson, Reddick, all those guys are doing 1 stop.
We want to take the shortcut and not be in danger.
I didn't know you had one too, Hamill.
Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted.
Yeah, sisters, her husband, who is my brother-in-law, his brother is a state trooper. I think that's a stretch. Get wrecked. Gregson making the playoffs. Not saying it can't happen, but
until you do.
It's kind of a stretch that he's going to make the playoffs.
Duracell is a proud partner of Williams Racing.
Nice. Kyle, I think, is still going to win a race. I think Kyle's going to still win a race to be able to make it in. I mean, keep in mind, 2020, he didn't win until Texas.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for
Brothers from another mother.
If you smoked, you may still be at risk. But early detection.
It's funny how much me and Hamill are similar in certain things. So.
SavedByTheScan.org.
Wendy's Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. This takes me back, man.
It's like taking a trip down memory lane.
I didn't know they sold dreamsicles on memory lane.
The flavor that takes you back. Get Wendy's new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty.
Introducing the most powerful Tacoma ever.
OPP? Obviously.
With the shut the front door handle. Also known as the Seriously Raw handle. Or the Whoa 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 handle.
No, they made it last year. Both of them did, Shadow. Don't you remember? I had Brad pick to win the title last year. And Busher, I think, made it to the round of 8 last year.
The United Football League on Fox.
They both made it last year. So. Busher with the wins and Brad on points.
With Brad Kay leading in Darlington, Chris Myers and Jamie Little are going to the Dogs. The Westminster
another Michigan guy.
Continues tomorrow, 7 Eastern on FS1 with
okay.
breed and group judging. Then Tuesday at 7, Best in Show, all on FS1. Great to have the Goodyear airship with us here at Darlington.
43 to go in Darlington.
Guiding our aerial coverage, powering every mile and every moment on NASCAR's road to victory. Goodyear, more driven.
Well, we saw the 5 car into the wall off of 2, and another car into the wall off of 2 was Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch.
I'm not sure where that is.
I don't know. I don't see the
Chat Hawk, so
car that we saw.
I'm sorry if I'm not familiar with where that is. I know it's probably a small town, I'm just not sure where it is. Oh yeah, Busch the right front, then go down.
High out of the groove right there.
Out of the groove and in the fence.
Turning down the hill into turn 2, and when you miss that mark, it sucks you.
See, this is going to be the worry part for Brad because we know Reddick's got a good short run car. So
yeah, I think it's this right here. I think it's the shadow and the ambient temperature going.
Okay.
Ambient temperature going down as well, but I think it's the track.
I'm familiar with Houghton Lake, maybe not so much Higgins, but Houghton Lake, yeah.
And the back of those cars are starting to get loose. Always a tricky racetrack when the sun starts to go down. That transition of daytime.
Who's hating you in chat, Bumble?
You know, working on all the things that you need to make the car turn in the middle of the day, and then that sun starts to go down. The shade starts to come in 3 and 4. And we've seen.
I actually personally myself have never been to Houghton Lake yet. I would like to change that eventually, but I've never actually been to Houghton. I've been to Gaylord. Used to go, oh, Larson's around.
Larson on the wall. Left rear went off the.
Left rear tire went down.
Excuse me, flat tire.
And that will bring out a caution at lap 2.
Get it fired up and get stuck. It brought right back in here. Leaders just middle 1 and 2.
Well, that changes things.
Left rear tire just peeled apart. You could see it.
He had brushed the wall earlier, and his last couple of lap times were almost a second off the leader.
Yeah.
Watch this again. The tire just comes apart right there. You can see it was already low.
Yep.
Went off the bead right there.
Yeah, the lap times fell off.
Down she
I'm
goes.
sure he felt that left rear tire going down, and there it went.
Well, that'll crush your cornflakes.
Tread almost came completely off the tire there for a second.
Oh, tense moment for Josh Berry.
No, that was 100% tire alpha.
Yeah, and
you can see, you can see it get going low as he went into the corner.
We know what that does for Tyler Reddick. It gives him an advantage on pit road to try to get the lead back in this race, because he's been better. He's been as good as Brad on the short runs. Brad really beats him up on the.
Hocevar wasn't even near him enough to even touch him.
Right now, so you see that left rear
see the tire just
hanging off of Kyle Larson's car, but we've only got 39.
That's the question, because they've only run a couple laps on these tires. So
Doesn't look like he has power right here.
I think he's just trying to walk it in. Things get really goofy when they get those flat tires and the way that the cars act. And
turn the wheel to the right. There you go. Is your toe link broken, Calvin? Yes or no?
I think the right rear toe link.
Yeah, a lot of hand signals from the right rear.
Can that?
Well, that's where he's been. That's where he's been. That's the highest he's been today, Tristan. So.
The left rear tire in that short amount of time that it would have went down or something, would it?
I wouldn't think so.
It'd have to been bent a lot,
right?
Kevin,
Yeah,
a lot. I'm gonna tell you what, this caution, though, in my book, it's exactly. I know they're running 3rd and 4th. I think it's what Ty Gibbs and Chris Buescher needed because they were going to have to go 63 to 64 laps on their tires.
Well, it definitely puts them back in the game.
Yes, sir.
And we've seen this last year. These late race restarts.
I didn't see how he got by him,
a bunch
Shadow.
of cars last year at the end of this race on a restart. And it changed.
I know he was also playing that other strategy.
Well, it's certainly not what Keselowski wanted, right? They were one of the last cars to pit, and things worked out.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the top 10 right now.
But this caution puts it right back. You know, everybody's coming down.
Six of the top 10 right now are blue ovals.
Hands.
So 38 laps to go right now. That means the remaining distance, if we go green to the checker, will be about the average of what most teams have run today for a green flag run. And yes, there are cars like Keselowski that toward the end of that run were superior.
Yeah, and I just think it's going to get aggressive, Mike. I don't know that we've seen the last caution here, but the 45 crew is going to have to be faster on this pit stop because now they're giving up a car length coming in second, and we've seen them just barely beat Brad Keselowski off.
Hope so.
So now
we'll see when the pits open this time.
In order to get the lead back.
Pits are open.
Who was your best value pick for your fantasy league? Ryan Preece, who started out back, currently 20th. Harrison Burton, who started in the last row.
Looks like pretty much every lead lap car came in.
Who started last and is up to 13th. Jamie.
Don't see anybody that stayed out.
In from 3rd position, led 34 laps today. After being tight and being too loose, he says the car feels good. The 24 are really tight.
This pit stop's going to be the decider, I think.
I'm having a hard time focusing. I keep hitting the
whoever gets out front and can get that track position, I think is going to be the key.
They asked Brad Keselowski what he needed. He said, I need the lead and I need ride quality on the exit of turn 2 when we get the lead. As for the 45 of Tyler Reddick, he wants him to
see what
tighten
Brad gets out in relation to the rest of the field.
He's going to need help when they do.
I think he got out in front of Gibbs. Watch it. Oh, that's going to be close.
Oh, that's close.
Showing Reddick.
Well, that's all qualifying.
We'll check the camera.
Yeah, I mean.
Yep.
Oh, barely.
Qualifying session,
but
Reddick has paid off time after time today, and we've covered it every time. You don't have to go. You don't have to go
first pit stall.
Yep.
First pit stall. That's why it's such an advantage to have that first pit stall. That's the benefit of winning the pole. Is you have that prerogative to take that pit stall.
The original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's going to go. So
the Jersey Mike's catering box, a sub above.
That's the benefit of having the first pit stall. We've seen it in countless races.
The all-new Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
T-Mobile savings, take one. Focus. Here's the line. At T-Mobile, you get tons of benefits. And
not necessarily saying that's what happened last week, but in countless races, how many times have we seen that? That first pit stall pays dividends.
What if finding a new job wasn't such a leap of faith?
I don't think I'm right for this. I said I don't think I'm right for the job.
You're perfect for it! What if you knew you'd be paid fairly? Check this out. Because you could literally see what the job pays. What if your schedule worked for you, and her, and them? And what if the promise of better work was something that found us?
I got the interview.
We want to take the shortcut. Get lost and not be in danger. Sadly, we can't have it all.
Well, apparently it doesn't work for Larson, but yeah, it does. The first pit stall pays dividends.
Next Sunday, FS1 returns to North Wilkesboro, North Carolina for the 2024 All-Star Race, where NASCAR's biggest stars battle it out for $1 million to win. The All-Star Open begins at 5 p.m. Eastern, with the All-Star Race at 8 next Sunday on FS1. And as part of All-Star qualifying, the pit crews are involved in determining the starting lineup for the All-Star Race. How about these stops? This is world class right here. Under 9 seconds for Tyler Reddick and Brad Keselowski.
Wow, a tenth of a second difference.
Team 45?
Damn. Both crews stepping up on that stop.
Front tire changer, former college wide receiver. Just started my 19th season. My best victories are my kids at home and my wife.
Devin Del Rico, rear tire changer, Upper Marlboro, Maryland, 2-time Xfinity Series champion.
Wade Moore, Cleveland, North Carolina, tire carrier, former player in the Washington Nationals organization, proud dad to Sawyer, Sturgill, and Jackson.
Nathan Ricketts, Jackman, Holland, Michigan, Central Michigan linebacker.
Brian Deal, gas man, former soccer player, 2017 NASCAR Cup Series champion with Furniture Row Racing and Martin Truex Jr., proud dad to Gage and Quinn.
There's Billy Scott, the crew chief. Nick Payne, the spotter, up on the roof. And there's Billy Scott's resume. Upper Marlboro, Maryland used to be a racetrack there. There was a short oval and a Trans Am road course. Look how close this is. I mean, all day long. These two have fought it out on pit road. Now, last green flag run, it took Keselowski 33 laps to get by Reddick after the last restart. We're going to restart here with what, 34 laps to go.
Taking the question right out of my mouth, Mike. Kevin, 34 laps to go. Been 110 races since you've won last. It's time to get aggressive.
It's time to get dirty.
Dirty, you call it?
Darn right. I would be very aggressive on this restart.
Have to. It's going to be.
I think if he gets
Larson's day is done.
It's going to take him that many laps because it seems like Reddick's car has been good enough to hold him off until you get
that
later
car to
in
the
those
garage
runs.
area.
So
Larson's day is done.
You're probably going to get beat off of pit road, so I think you got to get right on the edge of being too dirty.
You saw Kyle Larson's car being hauled into the Cale Yarborough garage here at Darlington. They wanted to continue, but Larson said, I can't drive it. I can't steer it.
Watching these races back last year, Chastain and Larson, they started leaning on one another, eventually wrecked one another. Just like you said, it happens down there in 1 and 2. It comes off of 2, you're in trouble.
Yeah, it changed the whole complexion of the race, and I think Brad knows that. He was pretty aggressive last time, but I think he'll be more aggressive again.
Windshield tear off. We saw this last week. It'll come off. That won't be an issue. A fan will get a souvenir.
Have to crowd him down here.
All right, 33 to go.
Most laps the 23-11 has ever led in a race as Tyler Reddick brings us back to green.
Brad's going to stay with him. Side by side into one. He's pretty much got to stay with him. He can't let him get away. Stay on his quarter panel off too.
And Reddick can't clear.
Brad's got to stay. Oh, rubbing. Rubbing into 3. He knows he's got to stay with him because if he lets him get away. Meanwhile, Gibbs and Bush are battling hard for second.
Space on the entry to the corner, and here we go again. Side draft off the 45.
Ooh, off turn 2. Is that? Oh, Reddick's going to stay there. Side by side down the back. Still side by side down the back.
6 cars together for the lead.
Think about last week. Ooh, still on one another.
Either driver given an inch right here. Drag race down the front.
31 to go, and here comes Busher. Here comes the teammate.
Huge shot. How about that?
Teammate to help.
Try to cross over. He would have if that wasn't his boss. Could have got a 2-for-1 right there.
Teammate to help.
Man, they're going at it, Kevin.
Well, both of these guys.
Man, I love this.
Is going to be the race
after last week. After last week.
Keselowski, relentless.
He's still. Reddick has not been able to clear. He is still there.
Can't do it.
Still can't clear him.
Still there on his quarter. Door
Even and ahead. One more shot. You're going to have to run him up the track. You need to crowd him.
He's trying.
Running out of chances with him up there in that preferred groove.
Yeah, and every lap
Brad is staying with him though. He has not let him go. Busher trying to help his teammate and team owner.
Opportunity to help Brad, as we saw, he'll do it again.
Fantastic racing.
Oh, side by side, Brad tried to get him there. Oh, leaned on him. Busher 3 wide. Busher gets the lead. How about this?
Last week the bridesmaid, now he's in the lead.
Busher gets the lead.
Well, we said Brad
did all that. Busher gets the lead.
He definitely made contact, and he put Reddick in the fence off of turn 4, and it cost them both.
Can you imagine if Chris Busher
They're still racing each other.
What did he lose by a nose?
Well, Chris Busher and his team have done a great job in rebounding.
What an awesome couple of weeks.
Just an up and down roller coaster.
Seriously.
Of a loss, but Reddick and Keselowski are still going at it.
Reddick finally clears him.
And what a way to do it. While his boss was fighting the pole sitter.
The 2000. Here's your nugget.
Went to the bottom and stole
In 2003,
here's another look.
Kurt Busch took the lead from Jeff Gordon and Elliott Sadler with a 3 wide move. Almost similar to that, although he didn't run as low as Busher did. On the back straightaway with 11 laps to go in that race.
Brad knew that he couldn't give the 45 any more room than he needed to try to keep him from getting that run on the outside and clearing it, but he just... They got too close,
Bumble, I picked him to win today in a fantasy. I picked him to win today in the fantasy. So.
Before that, Busher helped his teammate Brad Keselowski, tried to push him by. That time they were slowed up too much. He had to go.
Let's go to the garage and Jamie.
Yeah, Kyle Larson has been checked and released last week's winner. We saw you get into the wall and then cut a tire and get in the wall again. What was the extent of the damage that has essentially put you out here?
Yeah, well, I was struggling.
Yeah,
I got really
I see you just pointed. Somebody just pointed it out. Yeah, but Josh Berry is P4. Briscoe's P7. How about Bowman and Elliott, 11th and 12th, after basically being back half of the top 20. You know, best they've been today.
And yeah, so we had a bit toe link or something, and then pitted and was struggling pretty bad, and then I don't know which tire shredded.
I can't believe out of all that, Busher got the lead.
The tire shredded and spun into turn 3. So yeah, I hate that. My mistake, you know, not even really trying hard at all, cost us a race. So just a little bit frustrated with myself right now, but you know, good car today. Felt like I was running a really good race to that point, and then just one mistake took us out of it.
Kyle Larson's journey to the Indianapolis 500.
Ford is actually in possibly a position to maybe have a 1-2 possibly in this race as well.
On Tuesday.
Well, what a busy month of May for Kyle Larson, and we'll follow it with you. From Chris Busch,
look at this. For the lead.
For the lead, drop to the bottom, all the way to the front. 23 laps to go.
Well, well.
I can't believe it.
A come down or a comeback, a risk taker or a troublemaker.
Battle for 11th?
That's how it's done.
Or is that still the battle for? That might be still the battle for 12th.
Or seen it coming. A trophy hunter or a party.
I know Bowman's ahead of these two at the moment, so yeah, that's the battle for 12th. Haley's trying to actually get Elliott. Elliott has it. Haley's trying to get it.
Ready to rise? To the challenge?
Am I really going to eat my words this week? Granted, both Kansas is still king, but literally somebody said earlier, I don't think we're going to top Kansas.
If so,
well, we still got 20 laps to go here, and
join us at Toyota Racing.
You give.
Busher only has about a half a second lead on Reddick, so.
Talk wireless. You get unlimited data, talk, and text. You get America's most reliable 5G network. You Get to choose who gets on your family plan starting at just $25 a line.
The volume is set where it is. I try to keep it that way so it, not saying they still can't take it down, but that's one of the reasons why I set the volume where it is. I don't change volume. It stays the way it does.
Arby's made chicken wraps 2 for $5 because it's impossible to pick a favorite from honey mustard, ranch, and barbecue. But don't ever forget, you are Arby's.
Well, it is Darlington.
Arby's, we have the meats.
Brace for impact as the baddest superstars on the planet are unleashed in prime time. From the heavens! All new Friday Night SmackDown at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Brad's cut it under a second. I think the biggest challenger to Buescher may be his teammate. I don't know if Reddick is good as the two RFK cars, but we'll see here. It'll be 18 to go when they get to the line.
On Fox.
Here they come to the flag. 3 abreast. Photo finish.
Atlanta.
Unbelievable. 3-wide finish. Have you ever seen anything like that? 3 by 3 in the line.
Vega 2011. This very racetrack, this very race, the spring race. 2003, and of course last week.
I believe Buescher. Hold on, it's Larson. Holy cow. What a finish, boys.
4 great finishes.
17 to go, and Reddick has closed it. It's 2 tenths now.
He's got it.
Victory.
He's got it, Kevin. Now he's in his draft. He's really inching in closer.
I should mention, I mentioned that 03 race, and I mentioned the Busch pass for the lead.
I do not like the fact that Chris Buescher
He didn't win that
so
race that day.
Turn 1. Tyler Reddick's got that big wide entry. He needs to maintain. I'm talking of Reddick. He needs to maintain on this end. They're both running the same line, but watch when they go into turn 1. If Chris Buescher
it's under a second among the top, or about a second among the top 3 with 16 to go.
There, you know, Reddick struggles because he's running the same line, but watch this.
And back-to-back weeks.
Well, he's moved up a little bit, but Reddick's still way higher, so he gets more air on the front of the car, and that arc is just different and allows him to exit.
Back-to-back
Watch
weeks.
how much faster he gets into the corner, drives in deeper into 3 than Buescher, your leader.
Yep, he just struggles
Look at that.
making up any ground.
Sails it and get into 3, but he got tighter in his wake. The closer he got to him, he got tight. Buescher got back away from him a little bit.
Now, most of the top 9 are all running very similar.
Yep, Buescher was not one of the options, so the other option leads at the moment. Reddick is the other option. Reddick and I think Brad are the 2 driver options.
Who's got a long run car sitting in 3rd, 0.8 of a second off the lead.
Yeah, you can really see all the options that you have.
Right now it's a 3-horse race. Gibbs is too far back, so it's pretty much a 3-horse race.
This race is not
Ooh, Reddick got the wall there off of 4.
Regan?
Definitely scraped it.
Last lap they came around. Chris Buescher ran a little bit quicker, but more importantly, the spotter on the radio told him, good lap, perfect change. Keep in mind, he's looking out the back mirror as well, trying to figure out exactly where he needs to be. He had the race get away from him last week in turns 3 and 4. Surely he must have learned the air blocking just a little bit better at this point.
Well, he did the last lap good. He didn't do that one as good because Reddick, Buescher went back low and Reddick went high again. So now it's that cat and mouse game, Clint, that we talked about at Kansas. Where's that car behind me going to go? And Reddick, the lap before into turn 1, it looked like Buescher might have scrubbed the wall right there.
13 to go.
Yeah, but as Reddick had to turn down off the wall, try something different. Look, that car got
oh boy.
Moved up a little bit higher. Right there, it took the line away from him. That's what I like about Buescher, moving around, not giving him the same option twice.
Yeah, if I was on his radio, that line that he ran this lap on in
the gap between Buescher and Reddick is about the gap between Reddick and Brad.
Buescher had only led 1 lap here in 13
12 to go.
Today. He's been out front for the last
It's a 3-horse race, so 12 to go.
Yeah, and as we get closer to the end of this run, the 6 car was definitely way better than both of these cars. So it wouldn't surprise
I would say that, Hamill. He is here.
Time start to be.
He is here.
Right there, Brad Keselowski is driving to the back bumper of the 45 car.
A 3-wide finish would not surprise me.
Our RFK, to keep in mind, RFK did finish 1-2 at Daytona last year, the second race. They ended up 1-2 in that race, if I remember correctly. So it wouldn't be a long gap since their last 1-2.
Had 6 runner-up finishes this year, including last week. but still looking for their first victory. 3 of the first 7 are Toyotas, and the first Chevrolet, William Byron, back in 8th.
Yeah, we see Chris Buescher,
Bowman has
Brad
cracked the top
Keselowski
10, by the way.
first and third, Josh Berry.
Only two Chevrolets actually in the top 10, and that is Byron and Bowman.
Chase Briscoe in 7th. So Fords have definitely showed up with more speed over the last few weeks.
Look at that difference in top 5s. 26 for Chevrolet, 21
Yeah,
for
and
Toyota.
those top 5, that to me is a sign of who has the speed.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on this line getting into 1. There he goes. See, there's the difference Kevin's talking about. Buescher to the bottom. Look how he
Now these two get to race at each other. You might want to watch Brad because we saw what Buescher did. We saw what Buescher did. This is going to be a nail biter here with 10 to go. Oh, Reddick's going to dive.
He's going to try to slide him.
But Buescher's going to stay there. They rub. They touch. Here comes Brad.
Oh, Brad just wished he was close enough.
Here comes Brad.
Something's wrong.
Reddick's broke a toe link. Tires got to keep it low. Get out of the groove, Reddick. Get down.
No caution yet.
No yellow.
I'm not so sure that 17 car's not got an issue as well. Yeah, he's slowing down.
Yeah, he's got a flat. Brad to the lead.
Oh my gosh.
Brad Keselowski, the Keezer, out front here with 8.5.
It's Brad over Ty with 8 to go.
Gets on pit road here. Buescher's on. Reddick's on. Barely made it.
Just made it.
Both are on pit road. We stay green.
Both those cars are off.
How about this? Brad Keselowski.
And it's a second and a half.
1995 to 2000 Castrol Toms.
Second and a half. And look at Josh Berry up to P3. Could Ford go 1-2? They could still go 1-2 in this race.
And we've seen it twice now. So we've got Keselowski first, Gibbs second, Josh Berry running third.
What a result.
7 to go.
Over Hamlin and Briscoe. SHR.
The fight actually is on for second. Only a half second separate those two guys.
He sent it, boys.
Well, I think what he did was he anticipated clearing him. I think he sent it in there to do a slide job and then was a little bit short. So, you know, you see Buescher down the racetrack.
Buescher stayed alongside him. Reddick just sent it.
And tries to dive it in there, and I think he wanted to slide up in front of him. But
sent
you
it.
see Buescher bounce off the wall, and
bouncing off each other.
He needed to pinch him, just like Brad Keselowski pinched him earlier.
The reason he bounced off the wall, he throttled back up and tried to stay.
If Brad hangs on here, it'd be his first win since Dega 2021 and the first win for the 6. Possibly since Daytona 2021 or the 2011.
The stat guys told us the stage 2 winner with this next gen car had never finished better than 25th here. It bit Reddick.
Yes,
it did.
Yeah, it did.
Stat guys rule. Matt McCall, Brad Keselowski.
5 to go, and it's about a second.
Brad Keselowski ran.
It may not be over yet. It's only about a second right now.
Well, I think it.
So I wouldn't.
Look, the 6 and the 45, they got together and made that same mistake, and they got away with it.
Justin Haley 9th, Alex Bowman up to 8th.
Then you see.
Because of Reddick and Buescher. The tie is gaining. I have to look up at that. Realize it's down to about a second. So
it worked out for Brad.
We've got 4 laps to go though.
You have to have all 4 tires completely inside the commit box to have
4 to go.
Stop. He did not. So commitment line violation, had to do a pass-through penalty.
Well, we were watching it as he pitted there, and it looked close out the window. Yep. Unfortunately, he didn't.
I'm going to navigate around Nemechek.
You could hear yesterday after qualifying. Brad Keselowski.
Oh yeah, tie is closing. It's down to 7/10 of a second.
To win and know
it may not be over yet.
And it's all paid off right here today.
I'm hoping for Brad to win it, but tie is closing. He's got it to 6/10 of a second.
And said, I'm going to turn this place around. And he is that type of leader and person.
3 to go.
And has made this company better. He spent so much time working on making the company right, and he hasn't been to victory lane, but he's been fast enough to.
Don't give him this win yet. This Gibbs is coming. Ty Gibbs is coming, ladies.
Keep in mind what we saw last week.
Gibbs was 3/10 faster. He's 3/4 of a second behind with 3 to go.
He's going to have to go though, because you're only going to have 2 laps. So if Ty's got something, he's got to go now.
Bringing around here to 2 to go. You know
2 to go.
Giving it his all.
Ty Gibbs trying to become the first-time winner at Darlington since Regan Smith.
Clean track.
Ironically enough, the same season that the 6-car last won, 2011.
Good, solid, comfortable lap. This is a huge win. 5 times a bridesmaid, 110 races. Got to get around here to be official.
Lap and a half to go.
This last lap is a lap Brad Keselowski's been waiting 3 years to run.
And you're right. He came over here, big gamble.
I think he's going to be all right.
On his shoulders and did it. Left the championship.
Last lap at Darlington. Next flag ends it.
1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Well, Brad Keselowski is 4 corners away from getting back into victory lane. He has done a fantastic job. We knew that this was a style of racetrack. And
last win for this car was, for this number, was David Reagan in 2011. It was his first career win. Guess what, boys? Bad Brad and RFK, they're back. Brad Keselowski wins at Darlington. And Ford is in victory lane in 2024.
36th career win.
Ford's first win, too, by the way.
Well, they have
How about that?
A whole bunch of ground from where they were.
What a finish.
Hell of an effort today. A lot of drama at the end. Way to get through it, TJ. Appreciate your help. Love to have me an American flag down there if you got one.
Matt McCall, the winning crew chief, and I think we'll see an American flag. There's one handy there.
Barry with the congrats.
Josh Berry right there, top 5 at 3rd.
I'm a both Stewart Haas cars. Barry 3rd, Briscoe 5th,
Chase Briscoe,
Justin Haley 9th, McDowell 10th, Bowman 8th.
9th place.
Phenomenal day out of Ty Gibbs. It was a hard place to get around. Proved it.
From Rochester Hills.
Behind the wheel, did a great job all day.
This is the 2nd win for Keselowski.
The right side of that car looks used up.
21 starts here. And he becomes the first driver to win for the team that he co-owns since Tony Stewart at Sonoma in 2016.
Yep. First owner driver, yeah, you're right. It's Stewart.
4 different drivers have gone to victory lane for Jack Roush at Darlington.
There's the guy clear up on the fence.
Here's Brad's tradition. Haven't seen it since 2021.
There'd be a lot of emotion out of Brad.
And Keselowski carries the American flag in a Polish victory lap and waves to the fans in the front stretch grandstand.
Brad Keselowski is just he's just a phenomenal asset when it comes to building a race team because of his knowledge. He's obviously talented enough to win races and do the things that he needs to do inside the race car. But what a turnaround for this whole organization.
It's the first win for Ford since they won the Cup finale, or actually since they won the Xfinity finale
and succeed
last year.
Hard work pays off.
Look at this.
Oh.
Busher mad at Reddick.
Yeah, Busher ain't too happy. I give Reddick for being a man about it. He basically said, yeah, I screwed up. So, give Reddick credit.
I can care less about mine. I'm sorry. I fucked up. I fucked up. It doesn't work for me. We don't have a sticker on the floor right now. Huh? Need to be better. I don't have that sticker on my floor. This means war. Need to be better. We've raced each other just fine for so long.
And you can see Busher kind of licenses. He kind of let up on the anger too when Reddick basically Reddick put his hands up too. He's like, "Hey, I apologize. Hey, I fucked up."
Reddick said the worst thing I wanted to do was get into your car. I'm sorry, I screwed up.
Had himself in position 2 weeks in a row too.
Well, how about Brad?
That's a
He's back.
pill to swallow. I can understand the frustration.
He's back.
A moment that Brad Keselowski has waited 3 years for. That Ford and Ford fans.
Also, I'll have to double check it, but I just won $5. I just won $5 off my coworker. We bet on the race. I just won $5 because I had Brad. Oh, the Days of Thunder theme in the background. That's the main movie theme from Days of Thunder.
Regan?
Well, Brad Keselowski Ends 110 race winless streak. You get your 36th career victory, Brad, but this is the first
Yeah, I'll
one
go ahead and pay off the
driving
points here
for
in a
company
second.
with your name on the side of it. How special is that?
It's what a heck of a day. It's Darlington, so whether it's your first win, your last win, it's just a really special track. It's the history of NASCAR. It's as tough as it gets, and then that battle at the end with my teammate Tyler Reddick and I were just all laid it all out on the line. It was freaking awesome. I thought it couldn't get much better in Kansas. It did today. That was awesome. I'm so glad you guys got to see that. That was incredible. Thanks for being here. We did it. Just great.
Brad Keselowski is back in
34
victory
laps ago,
lane.
Brad, you mentioned that battle with Tyler Reddick. You lost control of the race at that moment. Did you think it was all over with at that point?
I mean, I wasn't good, but I knew that I'd have another shot at it. My car was really good on the long runs. And when Tyler got underneath Chris, I knew I had another shot at it. When they made contact and I couldn't get by, I'm like, oh. And they must have got a flat tire. I don't know what happened. And we caught a break. You know, we've caught enough bad breaks over the last, year or two. It's nice to catch a good one.
Brad Keselowski wins on Mother's Day weekend in Darlington.
Both his kids there.
And on the flip side,
Gotta
Chris
be happy
Buescher,
about that
his
one.
teammate, it was an emotional week for you after the finish last
But
week.
you
It
feel
was
for Chris,
emotional now, Chris. Take me through that battle with Tyler Reddick.
2 weeks in a
Why
row
are you
he's been
so
that
frustrated?
close.
What did you say to him?
We got wrecked. I don't. I mean, that one's clear as day. Don't need any cameras to tell us, but I don't know what to say. We've raced each other really clean through the years.
I said
trying
that,
to be respectful
Dalton.
about it. And
First win in 13 years, almost 13 years
try
for
to be
that
really
car.
respectful about it, and we get used up. It's something that you just know is not going to work. So, just really pissed off about it right now. We certainly had a chance to win another one. Really proud to have that speed. Huge congratulations to Brad and the Six Bunch and Castro on their win. That's awesome. But man, I wanted it for our Fifth Third Bank group right here, and I just felt like we got used up. And he knows he messed up. He said it, but it doesn't change anything for us. I told him he's got a win sticker on the door, and we're still trying to find ours, and we get used up like that, take away those opportunities. It's tough. That's 2 weeks in a row we've had a shot to win races, and one I'm going to live in my head forever on what I would have done different, and this one here, I need someone else to be more mature about it.
Heartbreak 2 weeks in a row for Chris Buescher. Let's hear from the other side of that story. We'll go back here and find Tyler Reddick. Of course, everybody hearing his side of the story will step right on in here. Talking to the radio right now. Dominated this race, led the most laps. Heck of a battle at the end. Tyler, we saw the emotion. It was your race to lose. We saw the battle with Chris Buescher. He came up and got in your face. Take me through your side of things and what transpired.
Yeah, I completely understand where he's coming from. He's running the top, run his own race, run his own line, keep me at bay. And yeah, I made a really aggressive move, and I was hoping I was going to clear him. And when I realized I wasn't going to, I tried to check up and not slide up into him. But yeah, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Unfortunately, I completely understand why he's that mad. I mean, he did nothing wrong, and just trying to win the race. And to take myself out, that's one thing. Like, I can live with that. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah,
the way it did and took him out of the race.
I'd say it's a race and deal thing, but at the same time, I like that Reddick approached him and said, "Hey, I fucked up." Because you can see some of the anger kind of diminished from Buescher when he
it's tough
when he said that
to
too.
Walk away knowing I used someone up and took someone out of the took their chance away from winning the race that's raced me really cleanly as it came to the Cup Series. So just have to work on that and I don't know, try and make some better decisions going forward.
Thanks, Tyler. Let's go back to Regan.
Ty Gibbs comes home in second place today. Ty, looked like after all the chaos that was ensuing up front there, you were coming at the end. Did you just need a few more laps?
Yeah, I think I just honestly need a track position. That'd be great. And getting out front before those guys start racing. It was really, really hard to pass today. And that middle is super, super slick and really, honestly, really gummy. and slick. So it's just really hard to pass. And it's just really important to keep track of this. But
week in a row.
we had a great heat gets us to Camry.
What is with the last 2 weeks, man?
Thank you to Monster Energy, all glory, man above, and we'll keep rolling.
Granted, we didn't have quite the photo finish that we did at Kansas, but in the last 2 weeks.
Daughters Autumn and Scarlett accompany their dad, Brad Keselowski, to victory lane on Mother's Day in Darlington. How cool is that? What a day. Jack Roush in victory lane with his partner. Roush Fenway Sports Group, the third leg of that triumvirate that own that team. 5 Fords in the top 10, so let's not worry about how competitive the Fords are this year. They are right there.
Well, we've definitely got a 3 manufacturer battle on our hands now. We've seen it on a 1.5 mile. We've seen it on a wore-out slick racetrack now. It's not just RFK this week, you know. But we see the move here again. You know, I understand when we talked about the 45 car was trying to drive in there far enough and slide up in front of Buescher to do the slide job, but he missed, as you heard him say when they were having their discussion. So unfortunate for those 2 guys, but I just want to say this crowd did not leave. These people appreciate Brad Keselowski.
Here it is, the pass for the win.
Done in this sport. They stuck around. They wanted to cheer for him, and what a great way to end a winless streak.
Another heartbreaker for that Buescher. You see him going by the wayside right there, but putting RFK in victory lane with that guy. Buescher had 3 of them last year. He was sat back and watched all that after moving over, putting his name on the billboard of that place. Now he's standing in victory lane with his partner Jack Roush. Pretty cool.
NASCAR Race Hub weeknights, the All-Star Race next weekend on FS1 from North Wilkesboro. What a day in Darlington, one we'll never forget. Brad Keselowski finally goes to victory lane. Stay tuned for PBA bowling, the PBA playoffs quarterfinals. The Goodyear 400 to the Keyser, Brad Keselowski.
Of pro bowling's best. All champions have advanced to the quarterfinals here at the 2024 PBA playoffs. Including top seed E.J. Tackett, Kyle Troop, Anthony Simonson, Bill O'Neill, and of course, Jason Belmonte. It's a clash of pro bowling titans that's guaranteed to offer up some of the season's most compelling moments, and it's next on FS1. Mother's Day, we welcome you to the 2024 PBA Tour Playoffs. We started with the 16 best players on tour all season, and now at Angel of the Winds, we will cut it from 8 to a final 4. Here's a look at your bracket, folks. This is an all-time historic lineup of talent. E.J. Tackett is on pace to shatter the single-season PBA Tour record. We get O'Neill versus
Man, 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row, guys. Are you kidding me? I'm reserved because I think that the Wilkesboro race was the worst race we saw last year, but one of the worst races we saw last year. But I have my hopes up. You know, two races in a row. I can't not be happy about it, you know? Sport's in good shape right now, and hope we can keep it up and go into next week. But I am going to call it there. Rating wise, eight out of 10. 8 out of 10 is what I'm going to say. Again, I can't rank it any higher than that because of what we saw with Kansas and Atlanta, but 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10. I'm out of here. Enjoy the week. Way back Wednesday stream planned for Wednesday. So, look for that. And I shall be leaving you. No, come here. There it is. As I say every time, also, throwback shirt. Peace.